So my clock, it is 5 o'clock MST, so let's get
Yeah,
started,
that's
everyone.
Woo!
Okay, so hello everyone. For those of you just tuning in, I'm Fury. I'm going to be your game master this afternoon/evening. The game we're playing is called Sigmata. It is written by I have the official title. Land of Nob, Chad Walker. It's a really good system about an alternate history, 1986, wherein the United States has been taken over by a fascist regime and is now deeply repressive. I'm not going to go into the full specifics of the lore. I'm going to let what there is unfold on the map, but the simple version is the United States is tearing itself apart, and there's a resistance movement trying to free it from itself, basically.
Basically, if we don't stop net neutrality, it's the U.S. in like 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Savage,
Except
but
we got more synthwave music.
Yeah, but you can never have too much synthwave, so like, really, is it too?
Thank you, Bread Truck. So I'll throw that into the general pile.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. Thank you, Bread Truck, for the donation. I'm just gonna add this.
Oh, wow. My stream is evidently very far behind, but thank you.
Yeah, holy damn. Repeat the fucking signal. Okay, so actually that takes us to that part of the lore, which is one of the important things about the Sigmata setting is I guess there's freaking 11 core dice up for grabs now. The signal is a mysterious radio broadcast which has been repeated and repeated throughout the occupied United States, or not the occupied, throughout the regime, throughout the United States. And periodically some of the people who hear it turn into what's called receivers. And receivers are basically cyborgs, radio-powered magic cyborgs with powers given to them by the signal, and all of my players are receivers. So with that, receivers, introduce yourself. Let's start from the top with you, Jay.
Oh, geez, that's me. So I'm Jay. I am playing Tess Thornton, also known as Big Mama. She is a receiver who was a normal middle American housewife when she received the signal with a daughter named Laurel. And she's 40-something, has dark hair, and when she received the signal, she accidentally destroyed her home and got out of there with her daughter Laurel, brought her daughter to a cousin's home who is a resistance sympathizer before joining the resistance in order to make a better future for Laurel.
Thank you so much. Gazzy, you're up next.
I'm Gazian. I am playing Skyfire, known in her civilian identity as Jen White River. She's in her mid-20s. She is the daughter of a corporate mogul and was a resistance sympathizer until she came home one day to find her, at the time, boyfriend dead on their kitchen floor, surrounded by Freedom Fist and accused of being a member of the resistance. She wears the broken wedding band that he had been carrying to propose to her that day on a necklace, as in her guise as a receiver. And she now basically is trying to prevent that ever happening to anyone else, because, God, if that wasn't the worst day in her life.
Right on. So I'm going to filling in a little stuff on backstory as we go on. The Freedom Fist is the militarized police force that is now internal security. Hops, you're up.
I am playing Alan Rogers, or known in his identity as Mr. Smiley. He originally was just a small-time hacker who had a habit of, when he was going into places and hacking, he had a goofy smiley face mask. then he suddenly became a receiver, and suddenly he had to do something because Spice was going to be captured by the regime. And so he's now even further well known as the creepy bastard known as Mr. Smiley with a creepy face mask, which he stole from a Freedom Fist and then just painted.
All right. So I'm gonna lay out the exact setting for where we are now, and then I guess we can get started. So it's downtown Los Angeles. Here's 1986. You have all been fighting against the regime in some way or another for a varied amount of time now, probably in the domain of a year, maybe more, maybe less. The resistance in Los Angeles is most of the boots on the ground are made up of actually the street gangs in Los Angeles, because they're the ones that have the most arsenal lying around, have a lot of experience fending off the over-policing and dodging the government, and they are mostly drawn from the communities that are going to bear the brunt of fascist oppression. As a result, in downtown LA, there's no shortage of sympathizers and places you can hide, which is why the resistance makes their home there. Along with that, all the resistance branches are, in part, a loose alliance of four major factions. The Faith, which is a Christian dominionist group that objects on some grounds to what the government is doing. The Old Men, also known as the Militia, who are sort of everyone from former militia members to ex-soldiers, former patriots, people who don't like where the country is going or who feel the country has betrayed them and let them down. You have the Party, which is, yep, you got the Reds, you got the commies. They represent industrial workers. They're trying to, mobilize the workers and spread the glorious revolution. Since this is the 80s, of course, Russia generally has their backs. And last but not least, you have the Movers. And the Movers are the force of capital. They are the multi-gajillionaires who own a little bit of everything and feel that the regime may infringe on their profit margin. As I remember, Skyfire, you kind of have some allegiance to the Movers, correct?
Yes, being the daughter of a large CEO of a major company, which will remain unnamed, Skyfire's whole goal is to free up enough leverage that she can move the assets of her company against the regime.
Right on.
And therefore bring them into being a mover.
Right on. So yeah, that's where we start. Which takes us to where we are now, which is in downtown LA, in a resistance hideout. So why don't you guys tell me about where you guys would be camped out, what kind of environment you as resistance fighters would prefer, and where do you make your home? Where do you take your orders from?
So Tess is relatively new to actually being part of like active resistance work. So she's probably just following orders from people who she thinks know more about being an active resistance member than she does. She's very cautious about interacting with resistance members because she knows that as a receiver she has to be. So she's probably she would probably head towards a relatively small gathering of resistance fighters.
All right.
Do you want to go next, Smiley?
I don't know what to say.
Well, most I'm looking for right now is you're about to meet with the regional heads of all these organizations. Where do you do that?
I mean, I'm sure Mr. Smiley would probably really prefer to just do this over like the internet boards or something, but like he knows that like that's not secure. He's gonna have to go physically there himself and talk to them. this, he's going and talking to the people, I
Okay.
guess. There, you get all my awkwardness, Mr. Smiley. Have fun with that.
That's fair.
As a gift for you!
What's the point of playing tabletop if you can't give all of your insecurities to your characters?
Yep.
You're so fucking valid, Jay. Okay, so in that case, nothing to add. Then it's gonna be late evening, in downtown LA, in the fashion district, one of the abandoned factories. You're met by four faces that you know pretty well. The party regional commander, who insists on being called Comrade Theta. The faith regional commander, Father Nathan. The old men's regional commander, the one-eyed Captain Hawk. And the movers regional representative, Mr. Rourke. These four men and their associated bodyguards, they never really show all of their face. They're usually shrouded in shadow or something. Theta, of course, is the one who really prefers that. But as they all meet you, they speak up and say, well, it starts with Captain Hawk. And Captain Hawk is this middle-aged man, little scruffy beard. Again, he's got one eye, and he's always smoking a cigar. The two old men behind him really do live up to their name. They are in their mid-50s. They have the old M14s they brought with them from Korea. And they're sort of slouching while Captain Hawk starts talking. He says, well, as you no doubt know, several resistance contacts in the area have vanished. We think that the regime is onto something. We're not sure what. For my part, one of our arms dealers, codenamed Hammer, has gone missing as of 3 days ago. Hammer was always a little suspect, so we thought he might have taken a plea deal, but we found him washed up in the LA River just last night with a 45 in his skull. Next, Father Nathan speaks up. He is wearing his white robes, and
That's not obvious to see at all.
well, I mean, he's got to do it for the show, you know.
It's all about the drama with the church.
It really is. But he picks up talking, and he says, and though we rarely interfere with our sister faiths, interface with our sister faiths, one who has been a friendly to us, Rabbi Yaakov Levi, has also vanished. He, for all of his flaws, and as you say that, there's just sort of that little twist in your gut, for all of his flaws, he has been very friendly to us, and he has done more than his part in taking care of those taking care of those lost sheep displaced by our glorious regime. Comrade Theta speaks up next. And he's got that sort of firm posture, and when you've dealt with him before, he has an approach to these things that's you suspect that he might have met with some Russian advisor at some point in his life.
I'm sorry, I'm immediately imagining him sounding like the one Red Command or whatever the heck that movie is, where like it has Tim Curry playing the main communist guy, and where this is like
Red Alert 3, the video game.
Yes.
I want you to picture that, but his fanboy.
Amazing.
I am. Hey, also, Talani, 55 is old for someone who's trying to be, you know, a soldier. But, anyway. So, he crosses his arms and says, well, what it comes down to is we gotta figure out what the regime's up to. They've been ramping up a little bit lately here. The Fist has been staking out around a lot of radio stations, been trying to stop us printing all of our propaganda. Been cracking down pretty hard lately. We think they're gearing up for something big. Frankly, I don't know why we don't just start butchering them in their homes, but and Rourke sort of in the background is in agreement. What was that?
As they say that, like Tessa's face kind of like twists, and she like is obviously displeased by them saying that. Just like, ugh.
Yeah. Nathan, you've probably shared this look with Father Nathan before, because whenever Theta goes on like this, Father Nathan just has the same response. He says, although, as you no doubt remember, the rules of our resistance don't allow for that. And Theta, yeah. And Rourke also, you can see kind of chafing a little bit at the bit. But Theta continues. But, seeing as our rules do not allow for that, we need to figure out what they are doing so that we can stop this shit. And sort of at the end of it, there's Mr. Rourke, who's been, as he usually does, staying in the background. He says, well, of course, my employers have their own feelings about this. We would not ordinarily commit to anything without a more obvious plan, and after all, our syndication has not suffered too much from this. However, we do agree with the estimate that there could be some costs up ahead if we do not deal with this now. The regime moving in has in fact disrupted things by nearly 10%. We've lost a full business day already. To that end, we need you to find this. We need you to figure out what the regime is doing before it causes any more complications.
Do you have any immediate ideas as to where we should go?
They all nod, and it's Mr. Rourke. It's Mr. Rourke who opens up his briefcase. Actually, one of his suited bodyguards behind him pulls out their briefcase and hands it to him. And Rourke opens it up, pulls out a small stack of files, and says, "This is the two most recent disappearances. That is, of course, the contact known as Hammer, who has now resulted in the loss of several $1,000s of merchandise through his disappearance, as well as Rabbi Levi, whose tragic disappearance. Well, you can tell he doesn't really care much since there was no actual product lost. But he pulls them out and says, these are their addresses, last known contacts, as well as a few others who have vanished in the interim. Mostly you have some editorialists, as well as one radio station which has been shut down that could be worth exploring at some point. Here you go. Then he hands you the folder. Is there anything else you need?
How much backup will we have with regards to the signal? I assume it's not going to be consistent this deep into regime territory, but...
They all sort of give their various gestures of agreement. Well, it is going to be a bit of a difficulty, but this of course being downtown Los Angeles, it's relatively easy to find a building or two we can set up a repeater on. we'll be able to get a signal up for at least a few minutes at a time. Might be enough for you to do some damage.
I'll endeavor not to waste your efforts.
Sorry, excuse me.
Yes, miss?
Yes, sorry, I'm just confused. Do you think is this radio tower situation, was it playing the signal, or is it just sympathizers?
They have had a few sympathetic broadcasters, and data pipes up here. You know, the regime, they like to have a few voices of opposition giving tepid centrist views.
Yeah, I
but
know them.
Even that seems to be a little too much for them right now, which is why 1013 has been occupied by the Fist, it seems.
They don't seem to have much sympathy for anybody ever.
Well, I mean, there are a couple people that the regime like themselves.
Sure.
So, what, we investigate the radio tower, we find out the source of the murders, we save Los Angeles or something?
Might be a bit optimistic, but
Father Nathan Father Nathan sort of raises his arms a little bit. In God we can only hope.
Yeah, sure. In God we can only hope.
sounds like it is time to get a move on then. And Skyfire stands up and sort of like straightens her jacket.
And Mr. Rourke nods at you, Skyfire, and says, "Very well. There's no one that our assets are in better hands with, I assume." He looks back at everyone else. "Is that all?"
Yeah, that's all for me.
Yeah, that is all. Awkwardly nods.
So the regional commanders all nod, and they head back to their various cars and exit strategies. What would you like to do?
Tessa's gonna turn around and she's gonna kind of look at the other two and she's like, "Sorry, I'm Tess. I don't think we've been properly introduced."
Jen. And she like extends a hand to shake in a like picture perfect, "This is an interview and I'm meeting you for the first time" handshake.
Yeah.
It's worth pointing out that y'all probably do know each other's handles and stuff, because you're a gathering of receivers.
Yeah. Tessa's kind of like posed like she's kind of standing and appearance-wise looks kind of like the 80s interpretation of a 50s housewife. She's got like a nice plaid gingham dress and like a very like soft handshake, and she has a big fire axe strapped on her back.
God, I love her.
Appearance-wise, Skyfire is sharp lines and clean angles. She wears a power suit. Her hair is pulled back into a tight bun, hidden under a cap. She's got a steel briefcase and a hell of a sidearm on her hip. It's got a full-on drum magazine, which is ridiculous for a pistol, but the 80s were a weird time.
Miss Alan is just a little awkward compared to the two of you because he's just sitting in a suit that doesn't fit real well because he probably bought it at a thrift store, and he has the mask.
That's real, though.
Okay, so I'm just going to give a little bit of metagame stuff for you and for the benefit of our viewers, which is all all of these characters are cyborgs, and they look a little scary, a little monstrous. But they all know what is called each other's handles, and that's those leet speak names: Big Mama, Skyfire, and Mr. Smiley. And what that does is it lets them see each other's true forms. It also, those who don't know their handle are affected by what's called the gift of the stranger, which makes their appearances sort of fade into the background. Sort of the sort of general, people can get general impressions off of them, but for the life of them can't really describe them in too great detail. And when they talk to each other, their chatter kind of fades into the background as sort of ambient noise, or what you'd expect someone who looks like their general image to say.
Yeah. To the other receivers, Tess's face kind of looks like a flat white mask in like a little like not like a smile, but like just a little knowing smirk, but like with like holes for eyes and mouth, so you can like actually see weird robot chunks on the other side.
And that's really freaking cool.
Yeah, I'm kind of at a loss because I don't have anything nearly that interesting.
Well,
It's kind of like a little bit like the We Happy Few style masks. Like, it's like a white smile mask, but like behind the eye holes, instead of flesh, it's robot parts.
Nice.
So yeah, you guys don't also have to have your cyborg faces all kitted out. Just letting you know that you guys can see it and no one else can. So this will also let you disguise your powers. If you make all the windows on a block blow out, then the windows on the block are still going to blow out, but everyone's going to think you tossed a homemade bomb, not that you made all the radios start playing the signal.
And if you suddenly teleport through a TV screen like my character can, they'll think that this was just the TV being weird, and then will question that you're in their house. I don't really know how you can make that not be.
Well, they didn't.
Like,
They
oh
didn't.
my god, you're in my house.
I think it's still, holy shit, there's a stranger in my house, but it's not they teleported through my TV, it's they picked a lock and broke in somehow.
They jumped through the wall. Like the Kool-Aid Man.
No, they'll just say like, oh, they planted an explosive on that wall and jumped through.
Yeah, basically, it's you have, and also like I really want to see what you guys do with that. So anyway, now that we talked about the gift of the stranger, where do you guys go first? You have a dead rabbi's address. You have a dead arms dealer's hideout. You have a radio station that's been occupied by the Fist. Where do you go?
Wouldn't the regime be keeping an eye on all of these places?
Yeah, but you're receivers. You can sneak.
Point.
You can sneak in with evasion. You can try and talk your way in with intrigue, or talk your way around people, try and gather information that way. Or you can try and
shoot our way in.
You could shoot your way in. That also is going to. There's going to be people are going to call for reinforcements. But of course, every entrance strategy has its own little tidbits.
Well, as much as I do want to check on the good rabbi's residence, maybe it would be tactically most sound if we investigate the radio station first. I mean, we need that up and running if we're going to do anything about the rest.
Just for the record, the signal will still be available in other places, as long as you can justify it, like and think about it. So, yeah, the signal will be available. I want to let you guys play with all those cool subroutines I let you buy.
I feel like we should go investigate the rabbi's house, because I feel like that was more direct than, oh hey, a centrist radio station.
Yeah.
But Skyfire also has a bit of a savior complex.
Yeah, and you also have the arms dealer's hideout.
Yeah, it seems like the dead rabbi seems like the most obvious. Okay, this is just a pathetic of people just being kind of douchey.
Well, I mean, if we're heading there, I feel like I should let y'all take the lead. I'm not exactly the most, like, persuasive kind of person alive.
I realize my character is one of the more persuasive people.
So you
I forgot that's a skill I have.
So you can choose how you want to approach this. So the deal at the rabbi's place right now is that there is a police investigation going on, non-fist civilian police. But it's going to be one of those things that they investigated it. It's some gang-related murder, which they're going to use to crack down on the resistance, and it's not going to go anywhere. You know that walking into this. But you have a bunch of civvy police hanging around. The fist is, of course, going to be patrolling the area, but that's how it be. You're right now in sort of the suburbs of West LA if you're going to the rabbi's place. And you can sneak in, you can talk your way in, what you're gonna do. Or you can shoot your way in.
Fun as it would be to shoot our way in, I think we should sneak our way in.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because if we try to talk our way in, we leave a trail of communication, and if we sneak in, that they might not even know.
that's probably the best idea.
Okay. So, this is going to be a,
Evasion.
this is in fact an evasion setup. So, while we're started, we are in a guarded posture, which means you're all going to take 2 exposure per round. There is no turn order. You guys decide who's going where, when. You are going to need... So, what specifically is your agenda here right now? Are you going to try and sneak and loot the place? What's your goal here?
I think we're sneaking in to look for clues. Unless I'm mistaken, I guess look for any clues of what happened, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
See if
So,
we can find what the good rabbi was doing.
And what the links are and why they're suddenly just like, oh yeah, we're cracking down now on everyone, and maybe how they found out where they found out who this person is.
okay. So, you are going to need to find yourselves 15 waypoints in order to pass. You're going to need to get in, get clues without being seen, and get out. Alright?
Yeah, okay.
Remind me, waypoints are per person, or are they for all of us put together?
Waypoints are per person.
Oh, jeezums.
Good. I'm great at that.
Y'all can give each other help, of course. You can decrease allied exposure with nigh actions. You can also help yourself out with sneaking or rushing. And you do have 11 core dice lying around.
What do we use core dice for?
They just...
So when you roll 5 dice. You roll a number of core dice, including your skill. So that's d10s, and you roll a number of entropy dice, including equal to the number of leftover. So that's d6s.
Okay.
You can spend the core dice that are up for grabs to just roll extra core dice.
Okay.
And I will let you declare that after the rolls. If that gets a little too crazy, then we might fine tune it. So, who's ready to evade?
I am willing to go closer to the end because my main tactic is helping you guys not have exposure. So I feel like I should go later once I know if you guys are in danger or not.
Yeah, I think I should go towards the front because most of what I have in terms of evasion is using aggression to just rush right in.
It might be good for me to sneak in just to make sure there isn't weird surprises waiting inside the building.
So, actually the cool thing about the rush thing is while it will increase the hell of your exposure, Skyfire can help decrease that. So.
Also, I have the blade gravity spurs, so I can reduce the exposure at the cost of waypoints gained.
Okay. So, yeah. So you arrive at this house. It's pretty It's pretty okay, given that the dude's a rabbi in the frickin' fascist regime.
Yeah.
A standard 50s build suburbia. There is a couple of cops lying around, a couple of police cars in the area. You can see some civilians milling about, people sort of looking, and there's a bit of a crowd growing in, trying to figure out what's going on. Who goes first, and what do you do?
I think Jay is first.
Yeah. Okay. So
All
it's
right,
just like
Big
a
Mama,
little.
what you doing?
It's a little like suburban house, right?
Yep.
So, so Big Mama kind of cracks her knuckles, and as she does that, like big, almost like they look like giant bone spurs, jut out of her elbows and her wrists and her ankles.
That is metal as hell.
This is excellent.
And she's gonna activate her gravity spurs blade to start. She's gonna, I think she's gonna try and kind of get out of sight of the police by kind of clambering through trees and along the edges of buildings, so she can get kind of closer to the back of the house where there is less visibility. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Less visibility.
Okay. So what op are you rolling for that?
So I am rolling the evasion op rush, which is an aggression.
Okay. Roll. What's your aggression?
My aggression is 4.
Okay. Dang. Roll 4d10 and 1d6.
In the roll 20.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Nice.
You
nice.
just rolled you rolled 6 successes. Sorry, 5 successes. You rolled 5 successes.
Yep. So I rolled 5 successes. I'm going to use my gravity spurs to change the base bonus from the aggression op to 3. So I only take 3 exposure, and I get 10. No, I get 8 waypoints.
Okay, so I want to point out that by my tracker, that puts you inside the house and already halfway to searching for clues.
Cool. Big Mama just like flexes out all of her bone spurs and just like clambers over the sides of buildings like a horrible cryptid, and just like right through the window.
We are a bunch of cryptids, and it's great.
Okay. Yeah,
and there's probably like a crash as she goes through the window because she does get some exposure.
3 or more successes, you've succeeded dramatically, so you get to either process an aggression subroutine, or someone else gets to.
I don't have any aggression subroutines, so don't ask me.
I'm going to process my gridlash subroutine.
Okay, and also you get to emphasize your receiver's skill and heroism through your dramatic fucking success.
Yeah, so she does some like super cool parkour, and like every time she jumps, like she's landing in like a position that a person shouldn't be able to land, and just catching on the like bone spurs that she has just sticking out of her body. And then she just like flattens herself and slips right through like a slightly open window.
Okay, that's amazing. Okay, that's a great way to start this. I'm really happy to hear that. Holy. Okay, so I guess next is Mr. Smiley.
I am okay. I'm gonna sneak my way in, which is a guile way. That's gonna means I have to roll 4 d10s and 1
d6.
D6. Yeah, I'm gonna sneak my way in like a responsible adult. Okay. I guess I could just roll 4 d10s and then roll a d6. Roll.
Okay, so that's 2 successes.
And I'll roll my 6.
And that's no success. So you got 2 successes. That's the equivalent of you've clearly succeeded. Go on ahead. What do you do? So that gives you 2 waypoints.
Fun. Yeah. Mr. Smiley just basically sneaks his way in, I just kind of hiding in bushes and behind trees when people looking at him, and doesn't get very far because of course he's hiding and whenever people look in his general direction.
Yep, okay, so you're about halfway to getting inside the house now.
So, what's it called? Big Mama has exposure, but
Yeah. Big Mama has 3 exposure right now.
but my good friend Mr. Smiley has no exposure.
Correct.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna wait until next round to start clearing exposure, and instead, Skyfire just kind of shrugs her coat, like just settles it a bit more on her shoulders, and it starts fading into background colors. There's like a modeling of leaves sort of appears in front of it, and she slowly starts sneaking her way towards the house.
Okay, roll your dice.
My 5 sneaky dice.
Okay, so that's 3 successes. That's a dramatic success.
Oh,
You get
yeah.
to
I forgot about the fact that I have boot disk, which lets me boot up a subroutine. I'll figure that out a bit.
Yep.
Yep.
So add 3 successes. Sorry. So which roll is this, Gazzy?
That was for Guile Sneak.
Okay, so you get to process a guile subroutine.
I do. I am processing slow motion and using my boot disk to process my crash test chassis.
Hell yeah.
Because I want to be the strongest.
Okay. So that gives you 3 waypoints. You are
Yay.
approaching the inside of the house. Tell me how it goes.
I think that what is the yard like of this rabbi's house? Like, is it a particularly large estate or?
No, it's again like your standard 50s. Have you played Fallout 4? The opening of Fallout 4.
I have
Okay.
not.
But like picture you're just like standard like your standard mass built
White
suburb.
picket fence,
Yes.
grass,
Yep.
like that kind of thing.
Yep. After that, you get to tell me how it looks.
So Skyfire kind of vaults over this white picket fence, and her coat flutters from the gray of the sidewalk to the white of the fence to the blue of the sky, and then back to the green as she crouches down amongst the grass. And she hears movement around the street, and she hears the like soft shuffle of someone pushing open blinds in the house next door. But because of her special blade, her sonic sight, she can hear it coming. She hears their footsteps on the floor and just flattens herself against the ground. And for all intents and purposes, she looks like an odd little mound of grass, and their eyes pass over her without noticing.
All right, so now it's my turn. So everyone gets 2 more exposure.
Oof.
Oh yeah, we have like 4 exposure at this point, don't we?
I think that's the first round, so we have 2, right?
You all have 2. Big Mama has 5.
Yeah.
I'm gonna work on that. Don't worry, I got you.
So,
Yeehaw.
we're gonna go down the order of how things go. Smiley, you're starting to push your way through the crowd. You can see Skyfire make her move out in the corner. As you're pushing through, you can sort of feel people jostling against you. A cop gives you a double take, but doesn't really do much, but you can sort of see like this person's like moving a little bit closer. Skyfire, those blinds in the window are sure they saw something. You can see them sort of flickering back and forth and back and forth. Big Mama, inside the house, you can hear the footsteps of detectives. Who goes next? What do you do?
If it's acceptable.
There's no turn order. Anyone can go in any order they want.
Yeah, I was just realizing that if more people are gonna get I should go after Big Mama in case she gets more exposure this turn.
I'm not planning on doing a rush tactic this turn, so.
Okay. Do you mind if I go first
Go for
then?
it. Go for it.
Right. So there's the cop giving a double take. There's a guy at the window who looks like he's poking his head out. There's whatever noise inside got caused by Big Mama's incredible sneak. But it is time for Skyfire to deal with some of that. So I'm going to attempt a deny roll, which will let me remove exposure from 2 of my comrades thanks to my sonic sight.
Okay. Roll deny.
Oh, goodness gracious. Great balls of fire.
Oh,
Okay.
good lord.
So
It's my turn.
no.
It's my turn now.
Oh, no.
wait. I can thankfully negate one of those from my camouflage coat peripheral.
Okay, so you do. So the way it works is you right now are actually my bad. You are at one. You're at 1 failure right now. With the camouflage coat, that takes you to 0. So you just barely failed. So.
But I didn't botch it. That's the important part.
You didn't die.
I didn't screw up real bad.
So
Just pretty bad.
So you get to add the silver lining to what's about to happen. So,
Oh, jeez.
Okay, what's about to happen?
So, what? First, I want you to tell me how you deny. What is your play?
Her play was to use the fence itself as a way to distract attention because,
Okay.
I mean, I assume that when the rabbi got taken or killed or whatever happened, there was some amount of damage to the house.
Mm-hmm.
And she was going to try to pass off the motion of her allies as just part of the fence falling over. It was broken when he got taken, so a
Okay.
little bit more of it fell over.
Here's how this plays out. You're banking on that. It's not true. There is a little bit of damage, it's true. But while you're focusing on all this, you overestimate it. You snap the fence, and all of a sudden you hear one of the officers sort of like you hear the of him unbuttoning his sidearm, and he starts walking to the fence like, "Hey, you guys hear that? What happened over here? What's the silver lining?"
The silver lining is that one of his friends was inside the house, and now they're like checking out the outside instead of looking for whatever noise Big Mama made inside.
All right, I like that. So that's Skyfire. So Big Mama Smiley, who's going next?
I suppose I will go next
Yeah,
to
you can
try
go.
to continue to sneak my way in. I'm going to roll again.
Okay.
So roll that, and then roll.
Okay, that's 3 successes. That's dramatic success.
Sweet. I'm actually going to boot up this 2 subroutines. One of them I should have done earlier, but derp. I'm going to boot up Tarball, which transforms an object into a removable storage medium, and
Okay.
Call Collector, which allows me to listen to past calls by touching phones, phone wires, and modems.
Okay, so by this point you have entered the house. How do you do that? What's going on here?
I was gonna say I sneak through the hole that was already made. I sneak through whatever open window, if there aren't any actually open or any open doors. I probably just go through the window that Big Mama has made.
She didn't make the window. It was open a crack.
She opened it further.
Alrighty. So that's how that goes. Big Mama, you're up.
So can
Wait,
I
right, sorry,
retroactively...
you did that already. You already did your move this turn, right? No, wait, my bad.
It's
No.
just me and...
Can I retroactively have my boot disk have booted cathode eye?
You didn't choose what your boot disk had yet, so yeah, cathode eye.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it is gonna process my subroutine cathode eye, and I am going to I'm gonna say that I have entered the
Give me a roll. Give me a
yeah.
roll first, so we know how far you get.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm gonna use fade. I'm gonna kind of try and blend into the house. I'm gonna kind of try and just find a little hiding spot to wait for my allies to kind of come closer.
Copy that. Give me a roll.
So that's with judgment. So I have 5 judgment dice.
Dang.
I also have a peripheral that augments fade.
Okay, that's another 3 successes.
Okay.
And does your peripheral affect 10s, right? Fuck.
No, peripheral means botches.
Right, okay.
Yeah, peripherals
Libraries
failures.
affect 10s.
Right.
I do not have a library for this. So,
Okay, so you have 3 successes again. I need to crank in the thumb screws, I guess.
So that gives me -3 exposure.
Yep.
And I'm going to... I'll use it to process my adaptive armature subroutine. Yeah. That's what I will do.
Okay.
I'm just going to kind of... Big Mama kind of has this big coat that she is kind of wearing kind of low, and she kind of pulls it up and kind of just like pushes into the shadows of this like living room that she's in, kind of hiding next to a bookshelf waiting for her allies to come closer.
Okay, so you lose 3 exposure, gain 2, so you lose 1. Skyfire, you gain another 2 exposure. And Smiley, you gain another 2 exposure. So the way this plays out, Skyfire, your little trick with the fence has gotten some attention. One of the cops is coming towards you, hand on his gun. You can sort of hear the creeping boots get a little closer. Smiley, you and Big Mama are both in the house now. Smiley, you're just able to start looking around. Big Mama, you're hitting against the wall. But as you move forward, you hear a little creak in the floorboards, and you hear a hand on the door like, "Hey, what was that?"
It wasn't me. I didn't do it.
As you walk into this house, you can see very little signs of destruction, actually. You can see some messed-up carpet and a little bit here and there. But it's hard to get a good look when you hear those boots going closer and closer. All right, next turn. Who's going where?
I'm gonna try my deny tactic again, but I have a different tack I want to take with it.
Okay, roll your roll.
Oh god, I didn't realize Garm had quoted that. Thank you, Garmbreak. I appreciate everything you do for me. And I can't seem to roll anything, but that's
Okay.
1 success, thankfully.
That's no successes. 2
I
failures.
still have my peripheral?
Oh, right. Yeah. So yeah, that's 1 success.
Yeah.
That puts you at, you just barely succeeded. You give me the outcome, and I'll get things complicated.
I think that the fence is still Skyfire's main object of attention, but as the cop gets closer and closer, she just kind of hunkers down in her camouflage coat and kicks at the fence, and it topples over a few feet down from her, and she just, in her receiver way, doesn't even breathe or have a heartbeat or anything for a few seconds of just not quite panic, but it's close.
All right.
And that's gonna
poor
take
Skyfire.
And that's gonna take 1 exposure off of my 2 friends.
Okay. So, you see this cop sort of turn around, and you can see the other detectives in the house, like, sort of looking around a bit. So that takes 1 away from both your friends?
Yes.
Okay.
Cool.
That's good for them. On the flip side, what you're seeing is a couple of the neighbors are now like looking around. They like the crowd is starting to look suspicious now too, and they don't seem to be really happy with what's going on. So yeah, that's a thing. And now we are back to Smiley or Big Mama.
I'm trying to figure out, like, if we're in a room where we could actually get, like, useful information, maybe, like, I could look at a computer or something.
Yeah, I mean, you're inside now, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So, right, Skyfire's firmly inside.
Does the rabbi's house have, like, TVs and computers and stuff?
Uh,
What is his technology level like?
Guaranteed TV, radio. If you want there to be a computer, we can have there be a little an Atari or something. You guys get a lot of control over how this goes down.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna roll sneak to see if I can find any computers or anything. Gonna roll again.
Okay, that's 3 successes once again.
I guess I get boot up another subroutine, I guess. Cathode warp, which allows me to teleport through TVs. That seems especially applicable in a situation where I'm dealing with a TV.
Okay. You have a cathode warp check?
And I am going to boot up the computer. Hopefully it doesn't make any really fucking loud whirring noises.
Okay.
I guess that'd probably be the thing that gives me exposure, is the TV probably is... Not the TV, the computer probably makes some noises, so I try to boot up the computer and see if anything what I can find on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's your turn. Next up, Big Mama.
So there's at least one person in the house, right?
Yeah, at least.
Cool. I'm gonna use a subroutine, I guess I'll roll first.
You can't use a subroutine until the signal's up.
Oh, you're right. I completely forgot that the signal's not up. Cool. Well, then I'm gonna try and see if I can, like, I don't know. I want to do something to take attention away from while Smiley Man is looking at computers.
Okay, so you can roll deny to decrease an ally's exposure.
Cool, I'll do that. I'm not great at this.
So roll Valor.
Cool. 3d10 plus 2d6.
Okay, so that's a 0.
Just died in Minecraft.
That 1 sec. Yeah, that's a 0. So you just barely fucked this up. So okay.
I beefed it.
You didn't beef it. You didn't get -2. How are you attempting to get some attention off?
I'm attempting to, I guess, make noise in the rooms that, like, Mr. Smiley's moved ahead of me to find a computer, so I'm going to try and make some noise in the room that I'm in, so people will kind of pay attention to the, like, little study I'm in.
All right. So right on. So you do make a little bit of noise. And as you do, a picture frame that you didn't see falls off and shatters.
Oh, dang it. She kind of, like, looks at it and just like, oh, damn. Oh, hell.
I like the idea that she just actually says that out loud. Like,
she does.
She was being sneaky and then it crashed and she's just like, oh, shit.
She says it quietly. I mean, it's quieter than the shattering.
True.
Yep.
It's very quiet.
Much louder than shattering.
Okay, so what's the silver lining to this? What doesn't suck?
I think the silver lining is that it is loud enough as it hits the ground that, like, she can kind of move to a different hiding spot without her footsteps, like, being heard above the loud glass shattering noise. Like, because the noise is so loud, like, people are listening now for louder noises, and her footsteps are quiet enough that she can, like, kind of duck into a new hiding spot.
Okay. All right. So let's turn in the thumb screws. Everyone takes another 2 exposure.
I have 6 now, I believe.
6. You have 5 because I pulled one off of you.
Oh yeah. And how much of waypoints do I have?
Smiley, you have 8 waypoints out of 15.
I have none.
No, you have 3.
I have 3. You're right from the first round.
Mm-hmm.
And I have
Thank you,
8.
boss.
Correctamundo. Okay, who's doing what?
I guess I could roll more sneak to make sure that I actually am going through the computer and finding information,
Okay,
shoving
yep.
it onto floppy drives or something.
Yep, you need 2 successes to pull the information that is relevant.
All right. I swear to God, if I don't get any, I'm going to screech like a parakeet. I won't. I'm on stream.
Please don't screech like a parakeet.
Screech like a parakeet on screen right now.
You got 1 success.
Can I roll one of the? Can I grab one of the other dice stats and roll better?
You got 11. Pick one.
Hit it.
So roll d10. I think I'm only going to let you roll...
Yes!
Nice. I think I'm only going to let you roll 1 die per roll, because you guys are doing really well.
Okay.
But you did get your 2 successes. So, you made a clear success. How does it go down? So, just simple, straightforward success.
Basically, with Mr. Smiley's general knowledge of how computers work and where people generally shove their full important information to, and he manages to make sure that folder he's clicking on is not something weird. Thankfully, I doubt this guy has anything weird on his computer, but he does find important and relevant information. Maybe. He's not going to actually look at any of the information right now because he's kind of in a situation, but he is going to upload it to a floppy and just shove it in his bag.
Okay, you have the information. You are ready to boogie. Skyfire and Big Mama, who's next?
I think Big Mama should go next because I'm going to use an aggression op.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Get
Good luck.
some more. Thanks.
Okay, Big Mama, I'm giving you the heads up. You currently have 5 exposure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna use gravity spurs again. So
Okay.
I'm gonna set the base to 1. Big Mama's gonna use her gravity spurs. She's gonna extend her bone spurs again, and she's just gonna like clamber up the walls and like try and clamber kind of like above people's lines of sight.
Okay.
into kind of a room over to look for stuff in there.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna set the value for the base value of my rush tactic to 1, so I won't get more than 1 exposure. And then I guess I'll roll.
Don't you buy off those successes?
Mm-mm.
What?
Oh.
No. So gravity spurs lets me change like the base +5 waypoints +5 exposure to any lower.
Gotcha. Okay. Hit it. Rush.
So that's, I think.
Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3 successes, plus you got the 10 if you have a library that's appropriate here.
I don't. My libraries are combat and intrigue. I don't have a stealth library or an evasion library.
Okay, so that's 3 successes.
Okay.
For a total of, you're at what, 8 now?
I am at that's 4. So that's 3 successes. So I have 4 more waypoints. So now I'm at 12 waypoints.
Right on. So you are 12 waypoints. You have information, and you are on your way out. Narrate this up. You've done this heroically, either or perhaps with the help of an ally. But whatever it is, you've done shiningly well.
While they're kind of preoccupied on Skyfire's distraction, I'm gonna clamber across the walls using my horrible bone spurs and kind of using 3 legs to climb on the walls. I'm gonna reach down and just grab like, I don't know, just a sheaf of papers off of a desk as I skitter like a spider on the wall.
Okay, and you're on your way out. Skyfire.
You're in a situation.
It feels weird that I need to like make it all the way in, even though you guys have got all the data that we need already.
No, you need to get data too.
Why can't they just get more data?
Because evasion mechanics, and because this is the closest one, intrigue probably makes the most sense. But yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna. think I'm gonna judgment myself.
Okay.
I'm gonna fade out because this is bringing back some really, really unpleasant memories of a swarm of freedom fists inside her kitchen around the murdered body of her fiancé.
Okay.
So I'm gonna
Roll.
roll my
Roll to
judgment.
judge.
I'm judging you silently.
Thanks.
I had to make a pun. A pun was mandatory.
Ba, ba, ba.
You're judging yourself.
Okay, so that's one success.
I am using my memory here,
Okay.
which I believe converts the 2 and the 5 into successes, giving me 3 instead of 1 success.
One sec. Boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doo.
I am not entirely clear on how memories work, but I get to use it once a session, and I'm using it now. This early. Oh yeah, good plan.
I'm sorry, I'm just going to make sure this is working how we think it works. Yeah, so that does in fact give you 4 successes. So tell me how this memory is affecting you and what it does to change your actions.
Skyfire, like, hears the boots clomping towards her, and all she can think of are the sounds of steel-toed boots on linoleum and the soft patter of blood dripping from a marble countertop onto a tile floor. And then she realizes that if she gets caught, she's probably going to see the same thing happen again. And she has friends in that building that need her to not be around. Not die. Like, she needs to stick around and help them. And she just sort of not crawls away, but almost seems to float like an inch off the ground as she just scuttles away despite being like parallel to the ground.
All right. So your exposure is now at 2. And that's our turn for now?
Yep.
Okay. Everyone take another 2 exposure. Smiley, you're at 7 exposure and 10 waypoints. Skyfire, you're at 4 exposure and 3 waypoints. And Big Mama, you're at 8 exposure and 12 waypoints.
Yep.
Who's up?
All right.
I'm gonna go first, I think, because I really want to stop our good friend Big Mama from getting absolutely murdered with exposure.
Yeah.
I can
Thank you.
step in front of Smiley.
Okay. Yeah.
I think she's, after scuttling away, she's kind of cleared, like, out of where they were looking for her. And I think she's, at this point, like, almost up against the wall of the house and just picks up, like...
Roll first?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like trying to think of how I'm, like, what's going on before I roll, which is probably not the best thing.
Yeah, this is a roll first, and then you figure out what happens and how it goes down, sort of thing, which is weird, but I don't know. Okay.
2 successes.
So you reduce 2 exposure from everyone, which isn't bad. You just negated a round of exposure. Okay.
I bought them another round, except for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
how many waypoints do we need to get clues?
You need
15 each.
You need 15 each. Yeah. Yeah. You need 15 total. So at 2 successes, tell me what you do and how you do it.
There's like a little gravel patch along the side of the house where the gutter runs into, and as she's like sneaking up to the house, Skyfire just picks up a small handful of the gravel and chucks it underhand at the windows of the house next door, and it makes this rattling sound that's eerily similar to someone climbing up a gutter.
I love it. Okay. So yeah, that has definitely attracted some attention. The detectives who are sort of like in the house start like you can hear in the house, you feel them getting a little bit closer, like they're getting real close to you. You can feel it, but when this happens, they also start turning around and looking away. And
there's the Metal Gear exclamation point noise.
Yep. And Skyfire's bought you all some time. What do you do?
Well, I'm thinking like I could potentially get more information from some of the other papers or see like what exactly, like, I don't know if the rabbit where the rabbi died was anywhere inside this place, so I could potentially like check some other files and papers.
Yeah, Smiley. So just giving you the heads up, you're at the getting the hell out of the place.
Oh, okay, never mind then. I will leave.
Yeah, you've gotten the search for clues waypoint.
Actually,
so like we need like 10 to get clues, and then the next 5 is to get out.
It's to get out clean. Yeah.
Okay.
actually, I think I'm gonna try doing some valor because I have a 3 in valor, so maybe I could potentially distract somebody.
Okay. Remember you are at 5 exposure right now.
Okay, not terrible. I can use fade and go poof.
You're gonna hit 10 at the end of this turn. So.
Oh, yeah. Okay, never mind then. I will.
There's ways
I'll
around
use
that.
fade.
There's ways around that. Just give me the heads up.
Wait,
Okay.
5 exposure is going to hit 10 exposure at the end of the round?
Wait, because oh, thanks for the donation. One sec, I didn't have the right window open, so I can't see who donated. Thank you, Rosie the Ripper.
Yay!
Jay rerolls so they don't die. Thanks.
Thanks, Rosie.
All right. Thank you so much, Rosie. And thank you for donating to the EFF. All right, Jay. You have another roll. So.
Mwah.
So I'm just like, okay, why am I sitting? Okay, so if I have like 5, why is it suddenly going to jump up to 10?
If you're using Valor, then you get another 5 exposure.
No, that's aggression.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
aggression.
sorry, my bad. I just got that.
I was really confused because I was just like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Valor's the one that
No,
reduces for allies.
Yeah, that's just me being confused. Okay, what's up? So use your Valor. What you gonna do?
I'm gonna try to distract them with either by toppling something goes or just making a loud noise. Smiley just screams now.
Oh!
Okay, roll 2d6 also. Because you are at 1 success. Oh!
Do you have a peripheral? Do you want to use a bonus roll on that?
Peripheral. What peripherals do I?
Unless you have a peripheral for deny, which...
Yeah, I only have fade and flank.
Use one of the dice.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna
Use our
get silly
dice.
less shit roll. Christ. Reroll. Okay, that's better.
Okay, so you're at 0. Which, so, you didn't do great, but you only barely. So, you sort of pick up a thing to throw it, and, as you toss it, it, bounces off the door and back into the room that you're in. And you can hear the detective like, hey, someone's in this room. But what's the bright side?
I unplugged. I just literally just remove the plug for all the computers from the wall and just hide in a closet.
Okay, so you're now hiding. Okay.
In a closet. Yep.
Okay.
This is probably I probably should have hid somewhere else, but
Okay. That's gonna be Smiley's turn. What's up? What's up next? You've got
me, Big Mama.
Yep. Big Mama, what you doing?
Ooh, I guess I'm gonna use gravity spurs again. I'm gonna be pushing it real close.
Okay.
Actually, no. I'm gonna use fade. I'm gonna use the judgment tactic fade.
Yeah, I was gonna say because you are at 6. You could reboot.
Yeah.
But
well, I mean, gravity spurs lets me set it lower, but I'm gonna use fade to reduce my exposure first.
Okay.
So I'm gonna roll first. So 5d10. So that's
3 successes.
3 successes. Yeah. Cool. So Big Mama kind of pulls the collar of her cloak up, and she's already kind of like clinging to the ceiling, and she's just gonna like clamber to like the little space between like the top of like an upper kitchen cabinet and the ceiling. She's just gonna kind of like stretch herself out and like hide up there.
Hell yeah. Okay. So you are on the roof now.
No, she's like between
Oh.
the ceiling and the top of the cabinet.
Okay, now I see what you mean. Okay. So,
And so I lose 3 exposure.
Yep, and then you make 1 back, so you're at 4 right now. Because of so you make 2 back because of the alarm. Anyway.
Yes.
So you're at 5. Smiley, you are at 7, and Skyfire, you are at 6. So the way this plays out, Skyfire, you are edging away, and you're getting there, but the officer is still approaching, and you can see some of the crowd pointing like, "Hey, see something weird happening over there?"
I think I
Smiley,
need to get inside the house.
You probably should.
you are at 3 waypoints right now and 6 exposure. You should do something.
Yeah.
So, and remember, you guys also have reboots, so that's a heads up. Or
What
rather,
What's a
I'm still
reboot?
confused as to what exactly the reboot does.
okay, so the reboot does is you can instantly reduce your exposure to 0, but once you do that, once you hit 10 exposure, you're like dead.
Okay.
Oh joy!
Basically, the first time you hit 10 exposure, you're
down to the wire.
If you choose to reboot, then if you hit 10 exposure again, you die.
Forever.
Oh. Okay.
So yeah, that's a thing that happened. So you, Smiley, that can you threw didn't do you any favors, and the detective is now coming down the hall. And Big Mama, from where you are, you're actually within eye shot of that detective. Not looking at you, but he's a little closer to you than he was before. Top of the order, let's go. Who's going next?
I'm just gonna sneak inside if that's okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, hit it.
I'm just gonna sneak outside.
Hey, I mean, trade places. Let's go for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably fade and
All right,
hide
I'm
for the-
sneaking, so that is 5 for guile. There we go. That's some rolls.
Oh yeah, that's 4
Nice.
successes.
That's a
I'm
10.
also going to use my transporter library because using the environment as a way to get places sounds like the perfect thing for breaking into a house.
Okay, how do you do it? Tell me how to use the environment, and tell me how great you are at it.
So, Skyfire is already like on the side of the house, like I had mentioned. She's at a little gravel pathway where the gutter's running down, and the window that Big Mama had gone in is on the facing side of the house.
Yep.
Not the side. So what she does is she actually pulls herself up the gutter and kind of onto the roof where her camouflage cloak looks for a moment like the tiles of the roof, and then she reaches down, hangs off the gutter, and like swings in through the window, rolls to a stop, and presses up against the wall to make sure no one saw her.
All right, you are now inside the house. You are now ready to find some good information. And Skyfire is in. Halfway there. Whoa. Okay.
That's it. That's all we get.
I know. That's all we get. That's all we get in one line. Big Mama or Mr. Smiley? Who's up next?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna go. I realized I'm a dinkus and I have chameleon, but so I'm gonna have chameleon camo. So I'm going to try to fade.
Okay.
So that's a judgment thing, and that thing's actually something I'm really good at. So give me one. I'm gonna
judge for me. Use your judgment.
I'm judging myself.
Okay, then it's 1, 2, 3 successes.
And then plus 1 success when 1 or more successes total rolled. Success counts towards what you call it. I don't know if I get like 3 extra successes or 1. I think it's 1.
You get 1 extra success, so that's 4
Okay.
successes.
You get
which,
1.
Yeah, which takes you down to an exposure of 4. You have hidden. And since this is a dramatic success, you tell me how it goes.
And
also you
get
get
out of
to
the closet.
also you get another subroutine. You guys like have just been racking up subroutines. I'm pretty sure at this point you can probably have almost everything prepared.
Yeah, I mean, I can't.
I've got both of my subroutines processed.
You need to reprocess for more uses, remember, because you have yours upgraded.
Yeah, I'm going to process fast forward as a subroutine.
Huh.
And
No,
I am
Once
going...
I processed it once, it's usable that many times.
Yeah, uses is once you've processed it once.
Oh,
I think,
shit. Okay.
for the
Yeah,
upgrades.
upgrades are real nice.
I'm
I've got
kidding.
2 of my 3 for my core processor too.
I can't process my Valor Valor subroutine because I haven't used Valor at all.
Oh, damn it. I could have passed it to you when I was rolling deny. Next time I do that, I'll give you some.
Alright, next time. Okay, but...
Yeah, okay. So I get out of the closet, and my character, you can't see Mr. Smiley anymore. So I sneak out and happen to pass by the guard while sneaking my way out.
Okay.
I'm at least sneaked past the guard and no longer near him.
Okay. There you go. And now...
I realize Big Mama probably can see me sneaking past him.
Yeah, she's like planking in the kitchen on top of the cabinets.
I love it. And
I wonder
of course,
if she has any panic, like, why are you sneaking past him? He can see you. Oh, wait, never mind.
Yeah, because like, it's like, oh right, because I have the gift to the stranger. Yeah, okay. So Big Mama, you're planking on some kitchen cabinets. What are you doing?
I'm gonna just climb out because I mean I've gotten some notes and I'm ready to skedaddle. I'm gonna climb out, try and climb towards like another window with rush. So I'm not being super sneaky. I'm using my gravity spurs again, so I'm setting it to a 1.
I'm going to break another window.
Okay, you only need 3 successes right now, so...
Yeah, so I'm setting it to the minimum, 1 and 1. So
okay.
Let's roll 4d10. And I'm gonna use my donated dice from Rosie to have 5 d10s with this.
And 1d6.
And 1d6?
Mm-hmm. The core dice add the reroll dice add 1 more d10 basically.
Well, the d6 doesn't matter, but I got 3 successes.
Yep, you have 3 successes.
So I get 4 waypoints and
you're out.
1 exposure. Cool. I'm gonna skitter down from the cabinets over the kitchen counters, kind of making like some clattering noise on the counters with my bone spikes, which I guess attracts a little exposure, and then just like leap through a window. Just shoot. And escape.
Okay. You're in there. Or rather, you're out.
And I'm gonna use that if anyone else has a aggression subroutine they want to process, they can do it now.
Unless I can take that to finish processing my ultimate, I don't have anything to do with aggression.
Can we even process our ultimates yet?
Yeah, you can process them just like anything else.
Oh, I thought we needed the signal up for that.
Nah, I just needed the signal up to use it.
Alright, then I'm just gonna process that, I guess.
I don't know which race is. Or is that? Doesn't say whether or not it's Guile or anything.
The ultimate is just anything.
Ah, okay.
You have to do it 3 times.
Okay.
So, that's everyone, isn't it? Okay, so, Big Mama, you're out. You still get exposure.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
You're gonna need to fade.
Yeah, luckily that's my best thing.
Yeah, you are currently at 8 exposure. Skyfire, so are you. And Smiley, you're at 6. So, Skyfire, you're in the house, but one of the detectives who was in there is just like just across the wall, you can hear his boots just like on the other side of the door to the house, and you can hear him getting closer.
Okay, so
Smiley,
I have a question.
Yeah?
If I don't reduce my exposure this turn, I will go up to 10, and then the round will end. Do I then reboot immediately, or do I have one more turn at 10 exposure to get out?
I think you have to reboot immediately.
Okay, so being at 8 exposure is deadly, not being at 10. Okay, that...
Yeah, reaching 10 exposure is the...
Alright, so I have to fade this turn, or get one of you guys to deny for me.
Or, no, I mean, like, once the turn ends, you will get the chance to reboot. You can reboot at that moment.
I mean, yeah, but like...
But you don't want to reboot. Okay, yeah.
I don't want to reboot because I don't want to risk death.
That's absolutely fair.
We have confirmation from chat that exposure goes up at the start of a round, not the end.
Oh, start of a round. Okay.
Basically happening the same way anyways. So
yeah, it's the same thing. It's just we do get one chance at exposure 10 to free ourselves.
Okay, then...
Thank you, Red Truck.
Thank you so much for clearing that up.
This is our first time playing with Sigmata, so
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so you get, you'll get your one turn at 10 exposure. What you gonna do from here?
Do either of you guys want to go first, or should I just sneak some more?
I mean, I can go first. I'm just going to be fading nonstop.
Okay.
So
Yeah, sure. Roll your fade. Let's go for it.
I mean,
yeah, I'm just going to... That's, so I can ignore one failure because I have a peripheral, my brown overcoat for fade.
Okay.
So
You have
that
one
is
success.
one success. Yeah, so Big Mama just kind of pulls up her collar and walks into the woods.
She's out. Who cares about the other two receivers?
She's gonna go wait in the she's gonna wait in the edge of the woods for everyone else to get out.
Alright, I'm gonna try to use Deny again. Let's see if this works well. I'm just gonna have a sneeze coming on. Anywho. I rolled 1d10 accidentally again. Okay, that meant to be d6, sorry.
Okay.
Alright, I have done actually pretty good. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
that's
3 successes.
3 successes. That ain't bad. And so you're
I do have
denying.
Mimic, but
Who are you denying
Who are
on?
you, yeah, which one of
You.
us is getting? Me?
yes, because you
Oh,
actually
awesome.
have to deal with the whole shenanigans.
Yay, I'm down to 5.
Yep, you're down to 5 exposure. Smiley, tell me what you do.
I keep thinking about realizing to myself that I could have potentially just had my character been disguised and actually entering, because I realized Mimic is my big thing is Mimic, where I can just disguise myself in fucking good places. I forgot about that.
It's too late now. You're already inside of the house.
Yep,
As a
I'm already
robot.
inside the house. Yeah, I think I'm trying to think of something other than just make a loud noise. Or suddenly appear out of the aether to spook the ever-living bejeebus out of somebody, but that's a bad idea. So, conundrums. I didn't think about what I was going to do before I actually did anything.
Well, you could do
Just,
something
break shit.
you could make some noise and
I threw gravel at a window, just chuck a brick through a wall.
Just pick up the computer and throw it at the wall.
You could also do something fun. You could also do something funky with the lights.
I just punched the computer monitor, and it was no, your character's not
Do
that
it.
strong.
Punch the computer screen.
Well, I already went past the guards, so I'm not in the room with the computer anymore. You know what? I'm pretty sure there's a bookshelf somewhere. I'm going to topple over a bookshelf.
Okay.
Here, deal with that, fuckos.
I'm so glad you called it Freedom Fist Fuckhouse. I really am so glad you called it Freedom Fist
so
Fuckhouse.
I have toppled over a bookshelf. It is now made a loud thump noise.
That's a lot of successes.
Okay. You have toppled over a
2
bookshelf.
successes and 2 10s. I'm just okay.
I guess that means it's time for me to be sneaky again.
Yeah, it's time for you to actually do things.
Yep.
Wow, I'm sorry. Saved your ass from your friggin' aggressive tactics, and this is the thanks I get.
Big Mama's like waiting outside, like making tea. Like everyone's lunch is already ready. Like
I'm rolling for sneaks.
Give me some sneaky rolls. That is
As it turns out, I'm good at sneaks.
3 successes.
Okay, so we've already pulled data off the computer with the floppy disks. So I think that I'm just gonna kind of run through the house and figure out where he got taken from and see if there are clues there.
Okay.
Miss GM, do we have information from where they were?
Give me a sec. Okay, yeah.
Fury?
So, sorry, I was looking at my pages and not at...
Did we lose our GM?
Fury?
Oh,
Wait, was I
If you
muted?
Guys, the regime is over. We win.
If
Oh
she's
my
not back
God,
in 15 minutes, then we win the game.
I was muted.
If the regime isn't back in 15 minutes, we're legally allowed to overthrow.
God, I wish that were me. Okay, so, what?
So I'm thinking that, like, the rabbi got taken from the kitchen, which is entirely because I want to do a cool shit and vault over the kitchen counter while I'm searching for clues.
I had some ideas. If you want to do from the kitchen, that's awesome by me.
So there's one detective left, and there was just a bookcase like tipped over.
Mhm.
So I'm imagining kind of like the open, like one level houses of the suburbs. And I think that as the detective is running into the study where the bookcase was that Smiley tipped over, Skyfire kind of runs in the same direction of the circle and to like stay just ahead of his sightline, vaults over a countertop in the kitchen, and then her Aegis eyes kick in, and she just like takes in all of the information, scuff marks on the floor, like a couple scratches in a countertop, and realizes that there was a struggle before they took out the rabbi, and that's her clues.
Okay, and while you do, I'm also gonna say that you are able to, actually, wait, no, that's actually perfect. Yeah, the rabbi was in the kitchen, and I will give you more information on that when the scene clears. So,
I also think that, because that pushes me up to 12 from 3 successes plus my library from the movement.
Yep, okay.
I think that she like barely even stops moving as she's running, because her Aegis eyes, even though they're supposed to be for like combat situations, can pick up all this information so quickly.
Yeah.
That she doesn't stop. She just keeps going through the kitchen and jumps out the window. And she's out of the house, like trying to make it out of the yard already.
I love it. I love it excellently. Also, Mitchie, yeah, the system's a lot of fun. But yeah, so you're on your way out. The cops start to get closer. Smiley, that bookcase attracted some noise. They're getting closer. Mama, you're out, but people are seeing like, hey, wait a minute, was this person here? Like, what's going on here? Wasn't she just the other end of the... What the hell? And I'm starting to turn towards you. The crowd is actually like, who the fuck? Because you're not from this neighborhood.
Yeah, I'm at 9 exposure, I think, right now.
You're at 8. You're at 8 exposure.
8. Okay.
You are also a woman who is alone, which we know for a fact the regime does not
I
like.
mean, on the bright side, I do just look like a housewife. I could just be, looking for my dog.
Yeah, but you're not from this neighborhood, and the crowd knows it.
Yeah, that's true. No one knows me.
Fade and say,
That's a
ask them
long
where
way
your
for
dog
your
is.
dog.
Yep.
Dogs can run.
Okay, so, Smiley, you're at 8 exposure, Skyfire, 7 exposure, and Big Mama, you are also at 8 exposure. Smiley, you have 5 waypoints to go. Skyfire, you have 3. Who's doing what?
Smiley, do you want to roll first? Because if you can make it out, I can probably make it out as well. But if you don't make it out, I want to lower your exposure on my turn.
I was gonna say, I'm at 8 exposure. Yeah, I'll try to... I'm probably gonna
I can deny after if you want to just try and sneak out.
Smiley still needs 5 waypoints.
I'm still in the house. I should probably get out now.
You should get out of the house.
Yes, I'm going to leave the house. So that'll be 40-10
Okay.
and 6.
Okay, that's
silver lining.
Don't you have a peripheral for this?
I did roll a 10.
Yeah, but do you have a library or a peripheral for sneaking?
Yes.
Or I guess a library for evasion that you could use and a peripheral for sneak, but...
Yeah, I have Mimic. I don't know what exactly I could mimic, other than maybe I actually get out of the house successfully and suddenly I just mimic one of the members in the crowd, but people are still like, who the fuck are you?
Oh, what if, I'm pretty sure it's okay to, like, suggest things if you're
no.
open to it,
I
but,
know that's encouraged.
And if you are open to it, maybe you mimic one of the other detectives who you know isn't in the house, and you, like, yell with his voice, "Oh, they're going out the kitchen," and then you sneak through the living room or something like that.
Yes.
I love that.
What I would have done, but at this point, yeah, whoops.
It's
Whoops!
like Scooby-Doo style, running through all the different doors.
This is excellent.
Yes.
Mr. Smiley's just Scooby-Doo.
I mean, yeah, you have turned into more of a cryptid
You even
than...
have the mask.
Yeah, oops, I'm the cryptid now.
Whoops.
But yeah, so if you do this, you will get a total of 5 successes.
You faded out
Fury?
super hard, Fury.
Sorry, at this point you will get 4 successes if you leverage that.
Yes, I'm gonna leverage that.
3 successes overall, but still dramatic success, which you can also use to process a subroutine.
Oh, sweet.
So, tell me how you're mimicking, and then you're going to be at 13 waypoints.
I mimic the voice of one of the other detectives, because I'm sure I've heard some of them actually talking to each other. I mimic the voice and, like, suggested yell, "They went out the window," and I guess also I could probably, if everything goes weird and somehow they do manage to pass by me, if they don't look too hard, they'll just see me as another guy in a suit.
Yeah, that I love it.
And I already mentioned that, like, whenever I'm disguised, I disguise myself as a generic member of the regime who is looked upon favorably. So I probably look like a blonde guy with blue eyes.
Yep. So yeah, you're pretty much able to. You do that. The detective says, "Hey, okay," and you just walk right out of the house, looking like any other fucking detective. So you're just like, you're still on the property. You're almost home free. Skyfire, what you doing? Actually, Skyfire or Big Mama, since Big Mama you can deny or fade.
Yeah. I'm gonna fade so I don't die.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna just roll my judgment to fade away. So that's 2 successes.
2 successes.
Just fade a little bit.
Okay, so yeah, you're just staying in the crowd, not looking particularly noticeable.
Yeah.
People
I'm like looking around and like, oh, where's that dog? Oh, that damn dog, where'd it go? Just like give a reason to be there.
Yeah, okay, I think that works, and people start to, like, write you off. The gift to the stranger starts to kick in, and people just assume you have a reason to be there. Oh, thank you so much for the donation, Mitchie. And we are now at over 100. Thank you so much. And that's one more. That's one more die for the pool.
Yay! I think I'm just going to. Yeah, I'm just gonna deny because I want to make sure they're safe, and then I can get out the next turn.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to roll my deny check. That is 3 successes.
Bam!
Nice.
Dramatically good.
Yep. And you can now process that too.
I have nothing left to process.
Can you process my valor?
Yeah, if you want to take a valor process, go right ahead.
Cool. So I'll
scene's
use
about
that
to end,
process.
but like,
you know, the signal's not up anyways. I'll use that to process my crash test chassis just in case
hey,
like a fight's about to break out.
same subroutine.
Meanwhile, I have all of the ones that are good for sneaking, are really good for battle.
I have crash test in slow motion because I'm basically the Flash.
Oh, I just have crash tests so that Big Mama can just ragdoll.
That's amazing. Okay, anyways, sorry. Description. I think that at this point, like, having heard Smiley like mimic the detective, she let me figure out what I'm saying before I just word garbage all over stream.
Oh.
Having heard Smiley mimic a detective, Skyfire plays into that and kind of embraces the gift of the stranger and points at one of the houses next door that she had seen someone peeking out of the windows, and like points to the blinds of the window that they were looking out of and says, "Wait, I saw someone in there. Maybe they went that way." You know, concerned citizen mode engaged.
Okay, so I love this, and I think the way this plays out is like it definitely attracts attention, but since you are now at 9 exposure, with the start of the next round.
Oh yeah, they are super suspicious of me.
Yeah, no, one of them like is entering the room now and says, thanks, hey, who the hell?
Wait, am I not out on the lawn?
Oh, sorry, you're right.
I'm like in the backyard, but
yeah, you're in the backyard.
I'm still close to the house, so that makes sense.
Yeah, you're close to the house, and the guy says, "Hey, miss, are you supposed to be here?"
Where's your husband?
Yeah, basically, where's your husband? Are you lost?
Why are you in such a nice suit?
You're
Where's
not
your
my
dress?
dad.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so Smiley, you are getting to the edge of the property. The guards are just turning away, but the crowd is like, "Wait a minute, were you in that house?" And Big Mama, the crowd is starting to look a little bit away from you, but you can tell they're still tense. What do you guys do? Smiley, you're at 13 waypoints. Skyfire, you're at 12.
Smiley, you want to get out of here?
Yeah, I think at that point, because like you probably can do fade or something to actually make your things go down. All right, I'm gonna.
Oh fuck! Can we get a mod to let Jay post?
They
there?
tried.
Oh.
I just put a little space. It's fine.
You're gonna need to put it like right at the .com.
They can just delete the space. It's fine.
No, I mean the HTTPS still broke.
Yeah, no,
we're having issues with link
there.
posting for some reason.
I put the space there. It's fine.
I can't see anything. It's just a bunch of dots.
Well, after the session, I'll throw it up on the screen.
Okay.
That works.
Okay.
Yeah, we go.
I mean, we could also put it up on the screen like we were doing for Paranoia.
Oh yeah, I can copy an image over.
All right. So how bad is my exposure?
Smiley, your exposure is at 7.
Okay, I could probably sneak my way back out again.
Yeah, you need 2 successes to do that.
Okay. I'll roll that. Shitballs.
Okay, so that's a failure.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Oof.
Can I just yoink one of the dice to make it so that that's like maybe a little bit less garbage?
Take one of the dice.
Well, less of a garbo roll.
We have lots. It's fine.
Think. Okay.
Hey!
Can I use my library again, or do I not?
You get 1 per session.
That's memories.
Oh, memories. Right. Yes.
What?
Yeah, you can use your library.
Yeah, if you can justify your library, you can keep using it.
Yeah, I continue to mimic a detective.
Just
Okay.
a different one this time.
No, I continue to mimic the same detective. That'd be weird if I just suddenly changed the detective I was midway through people looking at me.
Okay, so that brings you to a total of 1 success. You're at 14 out of 15. And I'll take one from the for grabs pool. Alrighty. Hell yeah. So you are able to mimic this guy. So on the other hand, he does come into the room now and he says, like, oh yeah, thanks for... Huh?
I've already left the building at least, but like, yeah, he's just like, oh, there's another version of me out there. What the fuck?
Yes, like, hey, thanks for... Why do you sound like me? You are now staring down a detective, Skyfire, or Big Mama. You forget that Big Mama has things to do.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna try a deny. Like, what's the worst that could happen? I'm at like no exposure right now. I'll help my friends.
Okay, Skyfire's at 9 exposure, Smiley's at 7.
Okay, I'm at 3, so I'm gonna do a deny tactic. So that's Valor.
Mama, you're at 7.
I'm not. Last turn I removed 3. I guess I'm at.
Yeah, you removed 3, then got 2 back.
Okay, whoops. I'm at 7 then.
Yep.
You're right. I'm still gonna do a deny tactic because
go for it.
I'm out in the so that's 3 successes.
Oh, nice.
Okay, for who?
Yeah.
For who?
I'm gonna use it on Skyfire because she has the highest.
Yay!
All right. Tell me how you do. Sorry, it's 2 successes because you got the 1 block.
Yes. I'm gonna, while I'm in the crowd, Skyfire's already like pointing and shouting like, "Oh, look, there's someone over there in those windows," and I'm just gonna like turn around and play along with her, like be like, "Oh, yeah, I just saw some movement there earlier. I thought I saw someone watching us."
Okay, this is working. The cops are like, huh? And like now that the crowd's sort of like in on this, they're looking at it too, which is taking some of the heat off of Skyfire for looking a little crazy. So back to the top. Who's doing what?
I think I'm just gonna try and get out of there now because I'm down to 7, back up to 9 exposure. I'm just gonna sneak my way out.
Okay, you are at 12. You are 12 waypoints.
I need 3 successes here.
Yep.
I got 3 successes.
Nice.
You did it.
I think that Big Mama is like, oh yeah, I think I saw him over there, and I like group back up with her and I'm like, oh honey, did you find your dog? Like, let's go check somewhere else. This is all just too much. And like,
yeah, it
concerned
really
housewives
is too
looking
much.
for a dog. We're going to leave now.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So
Poor
Big Mama or
dirtbag.
Mr. Smiley? Mr. Smiley, if you can get 1 success on a waypoint, you're out.
All right, I guess I roll again. I'm gonna roll again to sneak out, I guess.
Okay.
Sneak, because that's what I need. Okay. Please don't make a garbage roll.
You did it.
Oh, thank
You ding dang
fuck.
did it. Dramatic. Sir, that's a dramatic success. Tell me how you get out.
Well, I guess once I just checked the detective again, somehow he just doesn't notice the fact that I sound like him, probably due to the fact of the stranger thing, and so I just kind of... I'm trying to figure out, like, how do they just not notice my character, and I guess I could say that the camo thing comes in again or something when they're looking away. I just kind of, poof, I'm gone.
All right.
I know I didn't actually use a fade tactic, but like in story it would be like, yeah, I just went suddenly, poof.
Yeah, you just kind of walked out the door, met up with your friends, and the 3 of you are walking away, disappearing into the crowd, and you're just 3 strangers walking away.
Mr. Smiley is our escort for these poor housewives out alone looking for their dog.
All right, you guys are out clean. So do you guys want to
I'm gonna hold my hands up for high fives with like the 2 other people.
Okay, so we are at 2 hours now. Do you guys want to take a break, or are you guys ready to just power on through this?
I need like 30 seconds to just grab some water and be right back.
Yeah,
Okay, let's take let's okay, yeah, let's take a 5-minute break.
Cool.
And yeah.
We'll see you again in a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, see you guys in a sec.
Also, we have the author of Sigmata in the chat. I just want to thank them for having such a fantastic game and for helping promote our stream.
Thank you so much. This is actually a really fun system. I'm really excited to play more of this. It's
I'm having a good time.
Yeah. No, thank you so much for making this game. I'm gonna stick around here, I think. So yeah, how are y'all today? And you're right, Garm, there is nothing more cyberpunk than playing drinking for I thought this was just gonna be a one shot, but I'd really love to play more of this. Like, it's a really fun system. A secret art. Sorry. I really want to play more of this. I could actually, like, the amount of stress it wasn't to run this was really impressive, and like compared to running 5e or running something like Lancer, like these are good games, but this one's just like, it's just quick to set up, it feels fun to play, and I really am attached to the world, and I want to kick over some fascists. This signal kills fascists. Repeat the fucking signal.
I mean, in this time, that is a great idea with how the world's turning out.
Yeah, exactly. Repeat the signal.
Kick a fascist in the dick.
So yeah, also, Chad W, I hope that I'm not keep putting a bad face on your system, because I'd very much like to join your Discord if I can.
Hello.
Hello. And yeah, Mitch, you know, the mechanics just are a lot simpler than I thought they'd be. We haven't played with a signal or with subroutines yet.
There's literally like two like I like that like combat, evasion, and intrigue are handled like almost the same. Like it's just a different goal.
Yeah, exactly. And like there's some differences. Like I'm looking at the sheets right now, which I have printed out in front of me.
Yeah.
Since I didn't have enough time to put up the proper tracker on Roll20.
But the like rolling is like the same. I mean, like it's like
yeah,
you don't have to keep track of stats for different things.
Yeah, exactly. Like the concepts are the same in all of them, but like the way the systems play out is different. And you know, I wish I had more than 4 hours to just run this and do stuff. Although, frankly, I want to run more one shots of this and like get an entire fucking resistance cell of Midgardians.
Honestly, I think it would run really well as a drop-in, drop-out kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh, a different cell has different members in it, like, but it's still all working towards the same goal of taking down the regime, so it would all tie together really well.
Hey, Garm, like, if you need someone to do fill-in sessions, I will run Sigmata. And you know, once I'm in fewer games, then I could run something more regularly. Yeah, right? Sigmata would be really solid for a drop-in game. And thank you, Garm. I hope that meets with the council's approval.
The Council of Crown Sword Star G, as it shows up in the little chat box.
Yeah, I'm having a good time playing Sigmata. I'm glad that y'all invited me to join in.
I'm really glad that you joined.
Thanks for letting me play a horrible spider mother.
I expected.
It's my pleasure. I kind of sucks that like this will I don't get as much chance to explore some of the like dystopian bits because like we just spent half of our time in one structured scene, which admittedly is a little bit on me. But
I also have a very slow character concept because I don't tend to get points. I just help my friends not get points.
Yeah, which would be like in intrigue and combat, those are really solid.
Yeah, but
yeah,
in this where it's everyone needs waypoints, it's a little bit more difficult.
Well, I guess we'll just have to beat some people up.
Oh yeah, combat next scene. Let's go.
I would not be surprised if that happens.
I mean, like, there's, I have to cut my plot short a little bit because I made time for 4 structured scenes, and we're not doing that.
Sorry.
Oh,
Speaking of, do we want to jump back in?
Yeah, I think we're
yeah,
going to jump back in. But
we've
it's
had
5
our
minutes.
yeah, we've had our 5. Okay, so let's jump back in. So, you guys have gotten clear. Do you guys want to do some chatter, or do you want to just hop right into the plot?
I mean, Big Mama wants to look over the files and notes that she's grabbed from the rabbi's desk, I guess.
Okay.
Like, I guess looking for any aspect of, like, premediation that he might have noticed.
Okay. So I'm gonna again abbreviate my plot a little bit. But so you have put together all this information. You have the papers that Big Mama picked up. You have the scuff marks and stuff from Skyfire's investigation, which reminds me I need to edit your name on my sheet to include your $sign. And you have the use files that Mr. Smiley downloaded. And all in all, it paints a pretty clear picture. So, Skyfire. The rabbi was taken near his phone. In fact, one of the main things that you noticed was that his phone was unplugged and that the modem was plugged in. He had a backup modem that he had plugged in right now. Mr. Smiley, your files were basically all usage data, and what you saw was that Rabbi Levi, had been pulling a bunch of data from the LA Resist BBS and had been actually a very active member and doing some serious sleuthing. And last but not least, Big Mama, you pulled some files. They are all they're all notes and photographs of the fist installation that's been going on around the radio tower. Around the radio station that they've taken over, ostensibly because it was not regime friendly enough and been unpatriotic. And the story is pretty alarming. The papers they put together show buildup of activity and bringing in a lot of heavy materials and supplies into the bunker. LA Resist, the BBS board, had been showing a lot of activity and a lot of rumors about, everything from how to put this, from counter propaganda being posted to whisperings among among informants in the Freedom Fist and stuff that not only was something was going to go down, it was going to shut down the signal. And altogether, it's becoming pretty clear the Freedom Fist has been setting up a gigantic jammer apparatus that they're going to put up over that radio station, and they're going to basically blanket jam the entire city of LA and prevent the signal from going up ever.
That's no good.
I rather like having super awesome robot powers. Let's stop them from jamming it.
Yeah, that probably sounds like a good idea. I mean, we need...
Generally, that's a good idea, yeah.
This signal kills fascists. Repeat the signal.
Yeah, I mean, we need it if we're going to have any fighting chance in the city, right?
Yeah, and one last thing. They're bringing in computer parts into that radio station. Big ones, mainframe parts.
What are they doing with computer parts?
Is there, like... I guess I probably wouldn't know anything, because I'm a mother. I don't know shite about technology.
Would I recognize those computer parts?
You would, in fact. This is something that you know a lot about, because not only are you a hacker, but you're a receiver, and this is the kind of thing you make it your business to know. Thank you so much for the donation, SB. Oh my god, that's my goddamn mom. Okay, thank you so much. We are going to add another 4.
Thanks, Fury's mom.
4 rolls up for grabs.
Yeah, the 4
All
rolls.
I can get out of this is your mother likes the concept of you murdering fascists.
Or being fascists
Let's
that
get
are
you some
murdered.
more archery kit.
Okay, all right. We're just gonna move on.
Suddenly we're reminded that your mother is in fact watching.
God, and my stage fright had
Thanks,
just gone
Fury's
away.
mom.
Oh God.
So I suppose we're going to the radio station then, if they're bringing in
So.
computer parts.
Whoa, this happened. So, well, I'm gonna finish this up, and then I'm gonna die of embarrassment. Which is, Smiley, you know what this is for. In fact, you've been terrified about this. Is the nightmare scenario. So, the signal has to be calculated for its use. On a floppy drive, you can hold enough signal data to get the signal up for within the next day. With more, like within a computer, you can probably store for the next week. With a mainframe, you can calculate the signal.
Oh no.
They're going to calculate.
Wait, is this like generating a signal seed so they can keep...
So the regime is creating a
Yeah.
signal.
No, the
Why is
regime.
the regime...
Or the regime wanted to stop us from creating a signal?
The regime has the computing power to start processing signal seeds. That's what you got.
Okay. Well, that's no good, because we know that the regime has receivers also, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a rumor. It's the sort of thing that people have been whispering about on ResistNet.
All right. Well, I mean, this is pretty bad news. So, I mean, maybe our next stop, I guess, should be the radio station.
Yeah. Either steal those
I
mainframe
think we
parts
should
or
make our way
break
to the
them.
radio station with all haste.
Yeah.
Sorry, I totally talked over you there.
Okay. So again,
I feel like we should be ready for like a firefight.
all right. So, do you guys want to do again some like out of character RP chatter or in character RP chatter? I have some prompts set up. If not,
Yes.
we can just okay.
Yeah.
So the way chatter works is it's a really cool system they have in this game. This is actually one of my favorite parts about Sigmata. I'm gonna toss up some prompts in the air, and y'all finish the sentence and just have a short conversation. All right.
All right.
So
Okay.
you guys are on your way to the radio station. And your prompts are, you know who I really don't trust, and I actually kind of like being a receiver. So
I think that I can answer the second one.
So
I was
start
gonna say,
start with that one in character. I actually kind of like being a receiver. Go for it.
I actually kind of like being a receiver. Before I heard the signal, even when I was with my fiance, it was always things I wasn't allowed to do, things I had to do with other people. But now I can stand on my own. I get to live my own life, and no one can tell me that it is or isn't what I'm allowed to do.
I mean, I get you. I didn't. I'm a woman too. I didn't, ever have the chance to do what I wanted, but I don't see how you can. I don't see how you can like living like on the run every single day of your life.
Mr. Smiley kind of awkwardly shrugs. I'm used to it. At least I can see without having to wear prescription glasses now.
Yeah, ain't that just like the best thing in the world to be able to see without glasses? I mean, y'all, I haven't seen people that I care about in like over a year. I don't know how y'all can talk about this like it's some kind of blessing from God. It's like it's like a death sentence, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
Eventually.
I see what you mean, but living under the regime was a death sentence for me. My fiance died because they never even told me. They just came into my kitchen and murdered him when he was going to propose to me, and well, if that's what life is under the regime, then I'd rather go down fighting.
All right.
I don't have much. Mr. Smiley doesn't have much input in the first because one, he's kind of used to because he's a fucking a weirdo wacko hacker and on the fringe of society. One, two, he's a male. So he's just I mean,
I had this. What's going on, guys? What's the big ish?
it's I mean, I guess I like seeing without prescription glasses, but I'm suddenly I'm having people pay attention to me now. It's kind of worrisome.
Listen, Skyfire, I know that what we're doing is for the good and, make a brighter future for our children and all, but it was so much simpler before. I mean, it was just make dinner, make dinner, play with Laurel, set the table, feed the family.
Yeah.
Ad nauseum. And it wasn't good, but it wasn't fearing your life. It wasn't fearing for your daughter's life. It wasn't fearing for family's life.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from with that.
I mean, we can all agree that we want this to be over at least, right?
Yeah. And when we do, we'll have a better world for everyone we know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's take these damn bastards down.
Hell yeah! Okay, that was awesome.
Kind of like
I just I'm sorry, just Mr. Smiley's just when he's an awkward bastard too, he's a dude.
She smiles and she kind of clutches the little Star of David that's hanging around her throat, and she nods and she's like, yeah, let's take him out.
I love it. Okay, so you are heading back into downtown. The sky has a deep orange hue, the kind that only comes from being in the middle of a heavily urbanized city. There's a layer of dirt and grime, Freedom Fist goons traveling in pairs on every street. Periodically, we've been blessed with an extra hour of time if we want it. Wow.
I guess we'll see how long it takes.
We'll see how long it takes. So you guys have freedom of approach now. You're in this heavy urban sprawl. A lot of abandoned houses, a lot of apartment complexes with bullet holes in them. As you pass by, you see the usual array of stop and search. You see the APCs parked on the periodic street corners, the black masks.
Even though it's been a year since she's had the gift of the stranger, Big Mama still finds it humorous that she can just walk around with a fire axe on her back and no one notices because they just ignore her.
So no, that's pretty great. As you're walking in, you're getting closer to the looming tower of the 101.3 radio station, KFLQ.
Is that an actual Los Angeles radio station?
Nope, made it up off the top of my head.
Cool. I wouldn't have known because I've never been to LA.
I know. I've lived in LA my whole life and I don't know the radio here.
I mean,
that's because radio is dead. Video killed the radio star.
That song I'd say that's also an 80s song and I love it.
All right then. So, here we are. You are getting near the radio station. This place is, as advertised, defended to the gills. There's, the building itself is a heavy concrete structure. On the street surrounding There's APCs that are just in ever-increasing presence. The fist goons look a little bit more alert here. And there you are. What's your play?
How are
Might be
we?
good. Might be good to like try sneaking in first, and then like if all hell breaks loose and we're not able to do it, probably sneak in and then do stuff.
I mean, do we want to just clamber in all Rabbi's House style again, or do we want to try and talk our way in this time?
Honestly,
Um,
I feel like at this point we just unload on them, right? Like, give them the chance to surrender, and if they don't, then they've made their choice.
The only problem with that being is signaling up. If we don't have, we don't necessarily have much to back up.
We can shoot. We can send off a call, get them to start putting the signal up when we go in.
I guess that's true.
We'll only have a minute or two, probably.
remember, you guys have the power of flashback. So if you want to like start the scene and then say like, actually, if you want to start with like a talking scene and then things go south, you can say, okay, and I arranged with Captain Rourke, or with Mr. Rourke that, oh crap, we got another donation. Thank you, Chad Walker. Thank you so much for the $25. That goes in the reroll pile. We're doing our best.
Charity.
Doing our best to fight the good fight. Okay, so you guys have 18 rerolls up for grabs. Or 18 more dice up for grabs. Right. What I was saying is you guys have the power of flashback. So if you want to say like, okay, and then I have one of Commander Rourke's men, or one of Mr. Rourke's men have a gun waiting for me or snuck in some way. Like, you can have that.
Okay.
All
right.
This is a pretty fluid system. You guys can talk your way in, and if things go south, then things go south, and you go to combat or whatever. But you have the options.
Honestly, I don't want to try talking to them. I just want to go in and kick some fascist
ass.
Yeah, I was thinking about that as I was saying it.
Well, let's go in and kick some fascist ass then, right?
All right. So, you guys do not have your subroutines prepared, giving you that heads up.
Oh.
Okay.
But we also start back at 0 exposure.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Yep.
I'm gonna. I guess if we're starting like a scene here, I am going to use my boot disc and put it in. I'm gonna put it in crash test chassis because that's.
Yeah, I'm booting up the same one.
Yeah, I'm booting up fast forward as that's the only one that's actually violence related.
I like how we all have boot discs.
we all are like standing next to each other and making the same like hard drive whirring sound as we get ready. Just.
At least I can pull up my
like
computer.
How before a drag race you hear them like rev the engine, but it's just we're standing still.
Yep. And that's absolutely what's happening right now.
Okay, so
I can at least pull up my computer and say it's like something like that.
Why is that woman buzzing?
Okay, so what is your play here? So I can give you again some scene setting. You are as close to the radio station as you want to be, coming from whatever side you want to be coming from, because we have fluidity here. You know that there is some sort of jamming shit happening inside the station, and you know that they are sneaking in mainframe parts. What is your goal, and how are you planning to achieve it?
Wait, are they already jamming it, or are these just now sticking in the parts and we have to stop it before it does start?
They're sticking in the parts, you gotta stop it before it does start.
Okay.
I guess we want to get in and destroy the jam-in parts, and I guess we want to destroy the mainframe too, because we probably can't get it out of there.
Yeah, mainframes are, building-sized computers.
Yeah, so we just probably want to destroy everything, right, y'all?
Yeah.
Works for me. I mean, honestly, if we can bring down the building on top of it, that would probably work too.
Yeah,
That'll,
like
but that'll
I don't
lead
know
to
if
some.
that
That'll lead to
functions
civilian. That'll lead to civilian
Yeah.
casualties. I don't know if we want that, right?
yeah, just break all the parts inside thoroughly enough that like they can't use
Yeah.
it without several repairs taking a long
Yeah.
amount of time.
So yeah, as far as destroying the thing, civilian casualties are unacceptable, and I don't know if you guys read the part. One sec. I don't know if you guys.
I wasn't sure if there were civilians in the building was my point, or if it was like all a fist operation.
Broadcasts are still like there's still the fist propaganda arm kind of thing going on here. Like the regime is still pumping out their propaganda. It's just not civilian owned, but there's still also going to be like janitors and someone else. It's a mixed establishment. Just regular programming is down. The other thing I wanted to point out is that, remember, resistance is theater, and you are
We're trying to convince people we're better.
Yeah, you're trying to convince people you're the good guys, and the optics of the situation are part of the calculus.
We have to look like we're doing good, no matter what we're doing.
Exactly.
So we don't want to bring the building down, but we do want to destroy the shit that's inside it.
Maybe talk our way inside first and then see if we can then just destroy the shit there. Probably end up fucking up some way and then have to do a lot of massive violence against fist and electronics.
I don't know. I mean, they're probably pretty scared of us just as receivers. You know, if we give them the option to surrender and then just storm right in.
Point.
So if you want to try and talk them into surrendering, that is going to be intrigue.
Okay.
I mean, there's also just we also have the, like, when combat starts, if they take off their mask and lay down their gun, we let them leave, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, take off your masks is one of my favorite things. Also, shout out to I can remember names. Yeah, I was gonna say shout out to Chad W.
Chad W.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah.
I wanted to say I just didn't want to get it wrong. Shout out to Chad W for that really, really cool freaking mechanic and cool piece of world building.
It is really awesome. It is,
Which is
honestly probably one of my favorite mechanics from the game.
Which is that
if
you ask the Freedom Fists to take off their masks and they do, you let them leave.
Yep.
Or even if they just do it without you asking them, you let them leave.
And they know it.
Yep, if the fist takes off their mask, they are allowed to walk off the battlefield unharmed. No matter what they're going off to do, even if they're about to come back, put their mask on, and keep fighting, you still let them leave when they take it off. Doesn't matter.
It's the psychology.
Yeah. So
and it is a really interesting psychology behind it. We don't really have time to read the whole section out, but
if you're
interested in it, it is some absolutely top tier writing.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, you have to take off your masks. If you want to talk them into taking off their masks, like as not part of like holding a gun to their head, you can do that. Also, if you want to start shooting, hold them all up and say like, and then do an interrogation, that would also be intrigue. So you have a lot of fluidity in how you want to handle things. This was the point I'm trying to make here.
I'm not too good at the threat and intrigue. I'm more of kind of a harmless person when it comes to the intrigue.
Yeah,
I'm just a housewife.
You can be
I just have Snoop.
I mean, like, I guess what I'm saying is like you've got your good cop approach, you've got your guns blazing approach. However you want to do this, I'm encouraging it.
I honestly feel like our group is more pointed towards just storm in, like full combat aggression.
Yeah, I think we should go in full combat wise. That's probably what I'm best at.
Then draw your guns and get cracking.
I don't have a gun, I have an axe.
I have a knife.
For the record, I
also could have a gun.
Yeah, if you want to have like a gun that's part of this, again, you can have stopped by Comrade Theta or whoever and picked up a fucking gun.
Cool. Then Big Mama's gonna pull out a handgun from her purse.
I love that.
I love Big Mama.
Pushes around and just pulls a gun out. And then she'll pull out another gun and give it to Mr. Smiley.
Now, Mr. Smiley just looks mildly confused at this gun, just like, oh god, I hardly ever use a gun.
Well, you get one now.
All right, and I presume that Skyfire pulls out her peripheral.
Yeah, Skyfire pulls out Daddy's little girl, a highly modified pistol. It was originally a gift from her father, and then when she became a receiver, she modified it to work with a drum magazine and be fully automatic, and it is incredibly good at suppressing people.
We worked together on this thing, and it's a lot of fun.
Amazing.
Yeah, I do have to give massive thanks to Fury for helping me figure out like a period accurate thing that I have entirely forgotten.
The Intratech Tech 9.
The Tech 9, yes. There we go.
I probably got handed like a generic pistol.
Yeah, you just have like a generic gun, a generic handgun, and Big Mama also just has a generic handgun.
I mean, at least my character is sensible enough to not hold it thug style where it's sideways. I never understood why that was a thing.
Yeah, you're just holding a normal gun.
I'm holding it normally. I probably have the knife, actually.
Okay. So
I don't know how we do aggression, so...
We rush in by going to Moscow!
You tell me what your approach is, and you tell me what your clear goal is, and then I figure out how many bad guys you're fighting.
So I guess our approach is to storm in, and our goal is to get to the top.
Yeah, I think our goal is to sabotage the mainframe, I want to say. Like, explicitly, we are there to stop them from building up the mainframe for the signal and jamming it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you're going through the front door, the back door,
I feel like we might not want to go through the front door because the description sounded like there were a lot of fists at the front.
Yeah,
and if we can get closer through the back, that seems like an easier entry.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best decision. If we just like push in the back and just
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just had a sudden dumb thought of like which is more intimidating. Mr. Smiley actually has the mask visible right now, or he looks like a normal person, and then the mask suddenly turns visible and freaks people out.
I feel like just the mask itself is like the most horrifying thing. Like,
I mean, it's a modified Freedom Fist mask, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's...
Maybe it's just it looks like a normal Freedom Fist mask, and then as he gets closer, it fades into the like smiley cryptid version.
Okay, so I'm not sure that's how the Gift of the Stranger works, and I don't care. It's perfect.
I mean, I was gonna say I don't think it works like. I mean, it might. Who knows? I'm able to disguise myself as a man with blonde hair and blue eyes.
Yeah. So, let's get cracking. So by the back door, let me think of how I feel about that. Yeah. Okay. So by the back door, you see there are only 3 thugs. However, one of them has a 2.5-foot green tube slung over his left shoulder.
That sounds bad.
Doesn't it just?
Is that a rocket launcher?
Specifically,
I guess we'll find out.
Specifically, it's an M72 Law light anti-armor weapon.
Oh, Jesus.
You know, so many guns.
I think on the mention of armor and armor weapons, Skyfire, in her other hand that's not holding Daddy's little girl, pulls out her briefcase and it just unfolds into a slab of APC armor, salvaged from a fist transport.
That's so good.
Why carry a briefcase when you can carry a riot shield?
Actually, it's on the topic of discovering myself as a fist. I probably have fist-like armor that's probably been painted or something. Who knows? It just...
Our like bodies are stronger than human bodies, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Cool,
you guys are metal.
Cool. So Big Mama's holding the pistol in one hand and her fire axe in the other.
A Space Marine style. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
The irony of that statement does not elude me.
Yes.
1 second. I'm going to check the rules of ethical insurgency and see what they have to say about false flags and dressing up as the enemies.
Oh yeah, sure. Otherwise, if
Yeah,
it's not okay, bad thing, then never mind. I'm not dressed up as the enemy. I just have the smiley face mask. Yeah.
That's fair.
I feel like it's salvaged armor, but it's also like brightly painted enough that it's clear
Yeah.
it's no longer fist. It's like reclaimed, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. And also, I don't think there's anything specifically about that, because you're not going to play totally fair, because resistances can't play fair and win.
Yeah.
So anyway, you got your fist armor on. You've got the 3 thugs, the goons, okay, who am I kidding? They're experienced combatants. And they are at the back door.
All right.
You guys get the first move. How do you make your approach? Are you just gonna storm up on him? Are you gonna set an ambush? What's your plan?
Big she just wants to storm.
I'm just gonna support Big Mama because she knows what's going on.
I'm probably gonna like try to somehow flank them. Who knows? Maybe while they're distracted, I attack from the side or something.
Yeah, Big Mama's, if she can go first, she just wants to like storm right up to the door, like weapons out, and just yelling like, "Take off your masks or die!" I guess take off your masks or lose. Something
I think that on that topic, as Skyfire's coming up, she just like shrieks masks off, and like kind of sets the Tech 9 against the edge of her riot shield as like a firing bench kind of thing.
Okay.
Intimidation time.
Big Mama has her gravity spurs out just to be scary.
Oh god.
Just like, and I think the like facial expression of her like mask face is kind of like even a bigger smile now to kind of match with Mr. Smiley.
Okay. If you guys are gonna intimidate, I'm gonna have you start rolling intrigue.
This is just the approach as she runs in, ready to attack.
Okay. For start, Bedhome. That's a really great quote. For those of you who are not looking at the chat, take off your masks or I take off your heads.
That is
Nice.
fantastic.
That's what Big Mama shouts because she has the axe out.
All right.
Take off your masks or I take off your heads.
Well, the thugs aren't the biggest fan of that. They pull out their submachine guns and their rifles, and the one with the launcher strapped to his back says, "Hey, resistance, shoot him!" And all right, who's going first?
I don't particularly care who goes first, but I think we should take out the one with the rocket launcher.
Yeah, can I go first at the one with the rocket launcher?
Absolutely.
Hit it.
Cool. I'm gonna use the aggression tactic storm, and I am storming up with my fire axe, which is like just raised above my head. And if he's raising his weapons and it looks like he's not going to surrender, then I'm just gonna go to take him out.
Okay.
So that's 4d10. Okay, no crits and no blunders.
No
so
botches.
my libraries and peripherals don't matter, but that's
4 successes.
4 successes. Cool.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, that's 9 exposure.
Yeah. So I deal 9 exposure and I take 5 exposure.
Okay, so we're gonna put you at 5 exposure. So before we get into like actually handling this, combat exposure is it doesn't necessarily have to be an injury, because when you're talking about guns and fire axes, an injury is pretty shortly thereafter followed by death.
Yeah.
But so you can put him into a really bad position at 9 exposure. So you tell me how this goes.
So is 9 exposure enough to take the guy with the rocket launcher out of the fight?
Nope,
I
they need
think
10.
it takes 10.
It takes 10.
Okay. So I'm just gonna like charge up, and I think that my exposure represents just like me entering just like the middle of the fray. And I'm just gonna charge up, and I'm gonna swing my axe at him, and he's gonna try and like block it with whatever he has on hand, which is the rocket launcher, and I'm gonna try and just like knock it out of his.
He's got a submachine gun that he's holding. The rocket launcher slung over his shoulder. But
Okay, well, I'm gonna try and knock the submachine gun out of his hands then, with my axe,
Okay.
and kind of stagger him back a little.
Okay. So,
She has close to axe range.
She's close to axe range.
okay. So you just like get this thing. He's losing his grip. He is pressed against the wall. You're in this you just yell right across this parking lot, and I'm guessing you hop over a barrel or some shit. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You know? Okay.
Yeah, it's a sick leap. She's very scary.
Okay.
She's covered in bone spurs.
Yep. All three of them are real close to you, but they've been taken by surprise. But once they get the chance to get their bearings, they have guns ready to hit you.
Yep.
All right. Skyfire or Smiley?
After you, Smiley.
Okay, Smiley rushes in, surprisingly trying to be silent and intimidating through silence, I guess, and just attempts to take a stab. I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna try to use flank for that. I also got a bonus for my mask. I'm not sure how the hell that works.
That's if
spooky.
you have a failure, then your mask turns it into a success.
Oh, nice.
It turns botches into not botches.
Okay.
So for flank, that's approaching cautiously and trying to get a better position on them.
Yeah, so sneaky, scary. Okay.
All right. Roll the flank.
I also have tracer steps, so that makes it even spookier.
God, we're horrifying.
Oy. Okay, so that's
Christ.
one failure with your peripheral.
Okay, so
this is me telling you how this goes. So you're trying to move up there with your knife, but as you're getting closer, the distance is too great, and you can't really keep on your imposing. You can't be imposing and get on a good position from this distance, and right now it's all you can do to stay in cover. But how does your mask help you?
I help by spooking, but yeah, I didn't think this stood it very well.
Maybe you're intimidating enough that it catches them off guard. So
yeah, I just catch them off guard.
Yeah, it just gives you that
mask.
split second more to react.
Yeah. So yeah, this guy probably would have been on you, but you sort of looking with your mask, just take a step back. And Skyfire.
I'm going to try to flank the guy with the rocket launcher. I'd rather take him out and then suppress the others after, because I trust our big mama to take care of herself.
Hell yeah. I'm kind of imagining them on one of those 2 or 3 step tall stoops right outside the back of the building. Okay. And Skyfire charges forward with the shield shouldered, covering most of her body, and then as she gets close, she just swings out with it and fully bludgeons him as he's trying to deal with the raging fire axe. Okay. And I think just knocks him off the stoop to the ground. Okay, so he's at 10 exposure. How do you want to neutralize him? Actually, can I provoke him into mask offing instead of killing him? Is that that's neutralizing. Or... That's neutralizing. Yeah, she Skyfire knocks him to the ground and just bellows at him from a foot away with a gun pointed at him, mask off or you die. And I think he reaches up and pulls off the mask, shaking a little bit. Okay, so him and his rocket launcher walk off the field, and that's a dead thug. Okay, now it's the thug's turn. Okay, one of them is going to one of them's going to run for cover behind behind a parked car in the parking lot, rest his rifle, and just take a couple shots at Skyfire, who he sees as a pretty big threat. Skyfire, you're taking 3 exposure. Okay, I will take that. Okay, and the other one runs into a supporting position, pulls a grenade off his belt, pulls the pin, spits it on the ground, chucks it, and that's going to be Mama and Skyfire both take two exposure.
Cool.
So I'm at 5.
I'm
Oh,
at 7.
my success on that flank processed pause for what it's worth.
Okay,
So I am
pause.
1/3 of the way to my ultimate.
Okay.
Yeah, my aggression one is gonna process my ultimate as well.
Okay. And now turn is up. You got 2 baddies in cover. One of them's got a rifle poised. One of them just chucked a grenade.
Are you gonna do a regroup, guys?
Yeah, I can.
Or a
I was gonna
suppress, even?
suppress.
That's what I meant. Yeah. Okay, then I might regroup anyways.
Yeah, you
to
do have
reduce
a
my exposure.
lot of exposure
Yeah.
right now.
And I need to take exposure to do anything. So, I'm going to, if you don't mind me just going first to regroup.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. So, Big Mama, kind of as she takes the blow from this grenade, her the seams on like the robotic parts of her arms and like other exposed body like split open, and this like blood colored like foam spills out and starts to cover her. She's activating her bunker mesh and using the regroup tactic to kind of like cover herself up in this like foam that is going to protect her from injury.
Right on. So that's your blade?
Yeah, that's my bunker mesh blade. So I get an extra success with regroup as long as 1 success is rolled.
Okay.
And that's I only rolled 1 success, so I drop 2 exposure then.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So
Okay, so at 1 success, that means you did just barely succeed. So you tell me how it goes, and
I get 2 successes because bunker mesh adds an extra success if I roll 1 success.
Oh, okay. So tell me how you succeed then. My bad.
Yeah, so she kind of is staggering from the blow, and then the seams on her body split open, and this just like foam and like mesh and like armor spill out over her body to kind of protect her from the next set of blows that might come her way. To like let her body to like protect the damaged parts.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's like blood red.
All right.
And that's all she's gonna do.
That's Mama's
Do you
turn.
mind if I go next, Smiley?
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to roll suppress. So I get 1 success. So
Okay.
not great, but
Okay. So that knocks down Big Mama's.
Knocks down everyone's.
Yeah,
exposure.
but Smiley's not exposed right now.
Smiley doesn't have any, and I can't suppress for myself. I have to use
Oh,
regroup for
okay.
that. But even though it's only a little bit, I'm gonna say that's because you've already bunkered up. So even as Skyfire steps sort of in front of you and raises her shield, it's not that big of an improvement over your supernatural blades effect already.
All right, cool.
All right, that's my turn.
Smiley.
Smiley's going to try to flank and get behind the car. I'm going to hopefully roll a little bit less garbage this time. All right, that's much better. Ooh, nice.
Okay,
All
so
right.
that's 3 successes.
Sweet. And I got a D10. I guess I roll. I should have done this earlier. I get 2 subroutines because I forgot my first one, and then I have. Do I also do the 10, or does the 10? I have to trade between the subroutine or the 10.
You
What?
get. So
I don't know what the 10 actually doesn't do anything, so never mind that. Durr.
Yeah, unless you're using a library, a 10 doesn't do anything
Yeah,
special.
I don't have any combat libraries, so I'm good. I
Okay.
just have the
Okay, 3
Right.
successes.
Also, I have. Yeah.
How's that go down? You did great.
I managed to get behind them, and I'm gonna. I guess. I can't like grab somebody and hold a knife to their throat, can I?
No, you're allowed to do that. That might be
Okay.
more of like a 7 exposure move.
Okay, cool.
Um,
Can't do that. All right, so I
yeah.
just have a knife
you're in a
get
much.
a gun.
So you
You can
have
get right behind someone.
you can get into a better position, get closer, that sort of thing. You're
Yeah,
about-
that's what I'm doing. Getting better positioning, getting closer.
okay.
I guess they're not. I guess they're not noticing me because I am not the big issue right now.
Okay. Which thug are you going on? The one with his rifle out, or the one who just chucked a grenade and is pulling out his submachine gun?
Which one has the cannon thing?
He's already gone.
Oh, cool. Then I will go for the one with the submachine gun because I think those shoot more, right? I have my guns accurate, right?
Submachine guns shoot pistol rounds. And they tend to be very fast and good in close quarters. Rifles shoot bigger bullets at longer range, generally speaking.
Well, we're in close quarters right now, so.
I'm gonna go for the submachine gun then.
All right. In practice, they do the same thing. I'm just narrating them. But yeah, okay. So you're able to get into a better position on him, getting a little closer there. Who's next?
That's all of us, right?
Yep, that's all three of us.
Yeah.
Shit, you right. Okay. So the one with the submachine gun, Smiley, sees you getting closer, whips out, takes a burst your way. Smiley, you're at 3 exposure now as some bullets go whizzing by and you have to find some cover. I think, okay, Mama, how does your blade look to the gift of the stranger?
I think it just looks like she's suddenly wearing armor. like she was wearing like Kevlar body armor this whole time, and they just didn't notice it.
Okay, right on. So, the one
But it's
gonna...
painted red. It's like spray painted red Kevlar body armor.
Okay. So the social can be like, shit, I didn't see it. She's got armor. Boom, boom, boom. Take 3 exposure.
Oh.
Putting you at 7.
Yeah. Oof. Ouch. My bones.
I think it might be time to bring the signal up.
Okay.
I'm sure
Do
there's
that?
more people in the building.
I mean, I'm sure there are, but the faster we get through these guys, the less time they're going to have to call in more reinforcements.
Yeah. Can we just decide that this is when they pull the signal up?
We flash back to setting up the signal to come up, and it just happens to be now.
A couple hours ago.
Yeah, flashback. Tell me how this goes down. How are you preparing? What's the signal to light off the signal? Like, are you tossing a flare into the air? Do you have it prearranged for a certain time?
Maybe it's like as soon as they hear shooting from the entrance of the building, is when it goes up.
I think the grenade especially was just so loud that was our signal. It was whenever you hear the conflict start.
Okay, give me.
And then maybe there was another resistance agent like waiting for the conflict to start who like compared to a receiver they are squishy, so they were waiting to like once the conflict starts they're setting off a flare and then getting the hell out of Dodge, and then the proper team sees the flare and goes off and like sets up the signal.
Okay. All right. So, the shooting starts. It's been going on. In the distance, you hear, and you see a sort of a white light go off in the sky. It's a civilian fire. It's a civilian like flare thing going on. But and then in a building far away, you see a couple of gangbangers who are they were once part of the opposite side, but right now they're sitting together, hunkered next to a radio repeater. One nods to the other and says, "All right, let's do it." Punches a button, and electricity crackles to life. And you're online. You feel the signal coursing through your body. You can hear it buzzing at the base of your skull. And the signal is now up.
Can I take the first move to
real quick.
Oh wait.
Yeah.
It's my question.
So did you have to have like all 3 processed in the
in order
ultimate
to
for that to be do? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
you need all three.
Well, I only have nobody can see me just toss my paper to the side. No frustration, but I only have fast forward. So
Well, you process your ultimate separately.
Yeah, so like I could have either processed slow motion or I could get one of my 3 processes towards pause. But because I boot disked my because I used boot disk on my crash test chassis, I then decided that I would rather start working on pause because I already have a subroutine to use in combat.
Yeah.
okay, I only had one go. I had one go towards fast forward, and the boot disk go towards fast forward, and the other one go towards glitch wraith. So
Yeah,
I guess
so
hope I get 2 more 10s or something.
yeah, just keep on.
Yeah.
You don't need 10s, you just need 3 successes or more.
Yeah, as long as you get 3 successes on any roll, you get to process something matching it. Or your core, because your core matches everything. Or
Okay.
we
Did
can
you
even
use-
pass
so like
processes to each other, so...
I'm sorry, I've seemed very confused, but like, you can like any success? Does that only work when like the signal's up? Because I thought
No,
like
no,
before-
No.
You can process whenever with your success. With your 3
Anytime
Really?
you get 3 or more successes on a roll, you process a subroutine. You just can't use the subroutine until the signal goes up.
And they don't hold over between scenes. So
How many have I successfully rolled? I just realized I should check.
We've
Okay, I've only
had
rolled
2
one.
rounds, so...
Yeah,
I've only rolled successfully once, so I only have like 1 towards processing.
no. So you need to roll 3 successes in one roll, in order to process a subroutine.
and you need to process the ultimate 3 times.
So I only have. I'm sorry if I'm very confused by this. Okay, so I only have fast forward from the boot disk, and then I have another one from the last roll that I made that went towards the one processing that went towards glitch wraith.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I can't telefrag anything yet.
Nope.
No.
I can't be a spooky bastard, but well, I am a spooky bastard, but still.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
so I'm gonna
Okay, so
go first.
I'm
that's
going to point out all of your exposure is now down to 0.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what happens when the signal goes up.
I forgot about that.
Jinx. So do you still want to act first?
I don't mind about going first anymore. I was going to use my go first to drop our exposures real fast, but
Cool.
we're already at 0, so go ahead.
Then I'm just gonna storm these guys again with my axe.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna heft my axe. I'm gonna like drop my gun back in my purse, and I'm just gonna like swing the axe in just a wide circle at people. And can I use one of the dice? Because we haven't used like any.
Yeah, hit it. Go for it.
So that's I'm gonna also. So my fire axe is my storm peripheral, and also I'm gonna. Can I use my fearless library for this?
If you can justify it narratively.
Yeah.
I'm just like whirling my axe. Like I'm not even like dodging things. I'm just fight.
That counts. Okay, so that's 3 successes.
Well,
sorry.
so 3 successes plus another one from my library for rolling a 10.
Yeah.
So that's 4 successes.
Okay.
So I do another 9 exposure against. How many people are there out right now?
There are 2 guys. One of them has 3 exposure and a rifle. The other guy has a submachine gun, just chucked a grenade, and 0 exposure.
I'm gonna take out the one with 3 exposure. I'm just gonna. I think I'm gonna just slam my axe into his chest.
All right. So yeah.
And process a subroutine.
Yeah, and process the subroutine.
Okay, process a subroutine. One thug is now dead. There is only 1 left.
Cool.
Smiley,
do you want to go or should I?
Okay, so real quick, how often? I'm sorry, I'm asking another question again, but if you can you use a subroutine only once when
if you've
once
upgraded
you use it, you'll need to process it again.
Unless you've upgraded it. If you've upgraded it, you can use it twice before you.
Or
process
3
it
times
again.
if you upgrade it twice.
Hey, thank you. I think at this point I don't really need to fast forward or anything since it's fairly obvious that this is like a situation. Wow, that was incredibly vague, but still, I think I'm gonna like try to flank again. Flank. Yeah, I think I'll flank again because that seems to be the one thing that I can actually use. Well,
Do it. Stack
Roll.
some exposure on this dude.
oh, shit, nice. I'm gonna make another point towards Glitch Wraith, so that I can eventually turn into a spooky thing that passes through walls and makes things explode. Whoop.
Oh yeah, 3 successes.
And I am going to. How much exposure, I guess, does the other guy have now?
Yeah.
How many successes did you get?
3.
3.
So 3. So he's not the. So he's probably like.
This is the new guy. I just killed the guy you
Okay.
got the exposure on already.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, slammed him in the chest.
So I'm probably like once again in another position where I can also am about to fight him or something. I don't know if it's like that's enough for me to be actually fighting him. Like if 3 is enough.
Yeah, I mean, you're like threatening him and causing him to divert his attention. It makes sense to me.
Yeah,
Okay.
You threatened the first guy, and then I gave him an axe.
I must
I had
ask
to
you a
ask
question.
you a question. God damn it.
Okay, we've had enough. Okay, that's enough. I'm gonna axe you guys too now.
You're gonna axe us to stop? Huh?
oh my god.
Alright, I'm rolling to flank.
I don't deserve this.
Yes, you do.
I think I'm actually gonna, since we have established that they were not on the stoop, I think that with the riot shield up, Skyfire actually like runs up a couple steps onto the wall and just comes crashing down towards this guy.
Okay, who is now at 6 exposure?
And hopefully that is enough for Artiste to get a library success on that 10.
What's the justification for Artiste?
Instead of just like trying to push him back and using the gun, Skyfire is going to take a couple steps up onto the wall and then come crashing down towards him with like the full force of a robot person behind gravity.
I love it. Okay, yeah, I'll
Artiste
take
is
it.
about using your surroundings.
Okay, that's 7.
Okay, that is our turn.
Okay, so this guy like does not know what happened. First thing he knew, you guys were like sort of this is a gunfight happening. All of a sudden, his friend's dead, and this crazy woman with a riot shield is coming right.
A gunfight, except one of them's a housewife with an axe.
One of them is a housewife with an axe. One of them is a lady in a business suit with a riot shield, and the third one is just smiling
with a knife. Also, I want you to know that Big Mama I picture as teacher from Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah, that's valid. You're valid.
Yeah. What are you? A housewife.
Nanomachine, son. Sorry, that was the only meme that I properly remember.
Yeah, this guy is gonna just fall back, say like, hey, I need some help over here. And he's going to take another burst at you, Big Mama, so that's another 3 exposure on you.
What are you at, Big Mama?
I'm at 8 right now, because
Oh, Jesus.
I should valor you.
That'd be cool, because then I won't have to bunker up.
Yeah, you just keep going. I will keep you safe.
Cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say I also have a little tiny teensy bit of exposure. 3, right?
Yeah, you're at 3,
Okay.
I think.
I need to like write this down somewhere.
Oops.
I am the fool.
Is he the only person who's out there right now?
Yeah, you just tore through these guys like a hot sabo through butter.
I truly am the housewife of their dreams, just using infomercial items to destroy them. I'm the pink flowery knife that can cut through anything.
Amazing. All right, next round, right?
Yeah, it's on you guys.
Okay, I'm gonna open up with suppressing the guys to
Please.
buy our good friend some time.
Okay, that is
That's only 2 successes, which is a shame.
okay. Big Mama, you are back down to 6.
Okay.
Does that go towards
You can use a dice. Use a dice.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna use a die because
Okay,
we have those.
roll it.
We have like 10 bajillion of them.
Nope.
Okay, never mind.
It's okay. You still have 16 more.
God.
Holy crap.
Good lord.
We're so bad at managing resources.
I'm gonna save all my potions for the final boss fight.
I may need
I
them
made
more.
it through the final boss fight and didn't use any potions. I guess I should save those.
Yeah, basically.
Alright, who's next?
I'm just gonna bunker up again and let Mr. Smiley kill this fool. Mr. Smiley also loses 2 exposure, right?
Oh yeah, well,
yes,
but
he's
Smiley
both
was
people.
at 0.
Well, he was at 3.
No, because the signal went up, remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There.
Okay. Then
Alright.
I'm gonna just use my regroup tactic again. I'm gonna do the same thing where I pop open my seams and start gushing out the bright red foam. But now that the signal's up, he can actually see that it's just like horrible foam covering my whole body.
He still can't see it. Still gift to the stranger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we remain
Ooh.
gifted until they know our handles.
Okay, so
Use a dice.
Oh no, yeah, definitely use a
Yeah.
die there.
I'm gonna use a die there.
Please tell me you also have a peripheral.
Yeah, so I don't have a peripheral for this, but that is a 10. Can this be the same thing of fearless? Like I'm just standing in front of him and like flexing, and suddenly there's more armor on me. Just like the same fearless application of like completely uncaring of whether he'll hurt me or not. Just
Okay,
like standing
so
right in front of him.
bear in mind you're at 0 total right now.
No, I'm at 6 total right now.
Wait, oh right, jeez, sorry.
Yeah. That you're fine. So I'm gonna use my library of fearless if that's okay.
Okay, so that gives you, yeah.
That gives me 2 successes from the 10, then 3 from the 9, and then -2 from the 1. So that's 1 success, which means my bunker mesh adds another success. So that's a total of 2 successes.
Oh my god. Why did I give you guys so many ups?
To be fair, like bunker mesh was the thing that I started with. Fearless was the thing that I started with, and that's just from rolling a die from the donation. So this isn't even from ups. This is just like I haven't used any of the things that my ups gave me.
Oh my god.
Yes, so I get 2 successes.
Okay, so yeah, you're yeah, you are able to just like hold up there, and this guy is like, frankly, this guy's crapping himself right now.
Okay.
And I guess now
My
Mr.
exposure
Smiley
goes down. My exposure goes down to 4.
Yep.
And now that's a concerning noise.
That's the noise
Okay.
that she makes.
I'm going to flank again to take a whack.
Okay.
Alright.
So that's 2 points of exposure.
How many is he at now?
He's at 9.
Alright, and I need like
Use a
another one
die.
to.
Use a die.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Yes.
Fuck.
Oh.
How fast can we get through all of our bonus dice?
Oh yeah, the mask. I used the mask.
You don't have any ones or
There's
10s
no
then?
botches.
Damn. Oh well.
Right, I actually forgot to roll the Signal Wars.
Well, I
Fudge.
sure hope the signal doesn't just go down.
That would suck.
I want to
Okay.
use my ultimate.
Oh, that's bad.
So, somewhere in a psyop bunker is, hey, come on, get some jamming up here. Get the station online. And they are locking on to the jamming frequency. All right. That is now the top of the round. This thug is again scared shitless. But seeing that he's pinned, he's going to try and seeing that Smiley's coming up after him, he's going to take a shot at Smiley, so take 3 exposure. And it is now y'all's turn.
I'm going to suppress before we do anything else, just to try and clean up that exposure.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Made a loud noise on the stream.
Oh, I get 1 success.
Well, you have a. Don't you have crash test chassis? All good. So can't you use that?
Yeah. I mean, what are you at? Exposure wise?
I'm at
Six?
4 and Smiley's at 6.
No, that was
No,
a 3.
Smiley's
Oh,
at 3. Smiley's at 3.
Three.
So and also
never mind.
the thug's at 9.
Wait, if we take out the thug, do we just go straight to
The next scene?
0?
You take out the thug, you go straight to the next one. Depending on how you want to approach it, we can see it as a continuation of this combat scene.
I think
Or
we
you
should
can,
see it as a continuation so we can keep our process
Yeah.
subroutines.
Yeah, that's true.
okay.
I think I am just gonna. I didn't realize he was at 9. Can I use that roll on flank instead of suppress?
Um,
If not, that's fine. I will just lower the 1 exposure.
is it the same?
Thought he was at like 7 or something. They have the same stat.
I'll let you use it. It's fine.
Benevolent DM, all hail.
Praise.
So I
All hail the
apply
glow cloud.
1 exposure.
Okay. So this thing's fed up with Smiley. He's shooting, and he doesn't see you come around his cover.
I think I just hit him with the riot shield and he drops like a sack of potatoes.
Yeah, you hit him with the riot shield. He dropped. Is he still breathing or is he dead?
He's breathing, but he's clearly not in good shape.
Okay,
He'll
so
live painfully.
okay, so that's your so he is bleeding out. Which is where I get to add a complication.
Oh dear.
Oh god, I need to think about what that's gonna be.
We all die. Rocks fall,
Yeah.
everybody dies.
Complication. Enemy receiver.
Don't think I haven't considered dropping a jammer on you guys. But yeah, okay, here's the complication. His radio goes off. Shh. Bravo team, what's going on over there? The signal's up, what's happening? Shh.
Oh, that's not great.
Who wants to answer that?
I will.
Oh yeah, Smiley, you're good at this. You take it.
Okay, so because this is a weird thing, I'm gonna, I guess, roll on intrigue for this, even though it's not really intrigue.
I use gel.
Okay, so, no, first you're gonna tell me what you're trying to do here, and then
I'm trying to respond some way. I don't know what exactly would be the response that would be appropriate, other than like responding like same.
For social interactions, you tell me your goal. I'll tell you the result. If you want to exactly, if you want to RP the exact words, we can, but we don't. Have to.
My goal is to, I don't know, let them know if they're fine, or at least calm them down.
Oh,
I think that's it.
I'm
not sure. The only reference I have for doing this type of thing is Star Wars, and we all know how well that went.
Okay, so I'll let you do either
No issues.
Gel or support.
I think gel's.
Or support.
I'm gonna do gel.
Okay.
Because I have a 5 in judgment, and that's a judgment thing.
Okay, so this is gonna be yeah, I'm gonna need 2 successes from you.
Yes.
Okay, that's 2 successes. So you're able to pick up the phone, muster up a clear voice. Everything got under control here. Someone was trying something, just some bangers. But we got it here. And they buy it. Say, all right.
Even though the signal's on.
I mean, they don't. Whatever it was, the signal isn't up here. I guess. I'll just say, all right. We'll keep looking. HQ out. Okay, so you guys, I guess, are gonna go. What's your play from here?
Upstairs.
Okay, into the radio station.
I have a question. How tall is the radio station?
It's a 1-story building with a big old tower on top of it.
Okay. Carry on then.
There's a
Big Mama's just gonna go up.
Okay. So, kicking in the door, I guess?
Yeah, I think so. Let's
Okay.
just go for it.
So, I'll basically let you... You're right now in the main room. It's some some shitty gray carpet. There's some stuff leading to the broadcasting room. As you guys are 3 people with guns, most of the people here are tech types, and they are not going to fight you on this. They are too scared of you. How do you destroy the equipment?
I was gonna say, wait, didn't I roll 3 successes? I can't do telefrag, can I? Darn.
No, yeah. We need
Yeah.
one more.
I
I have an axe.
I have the technical know-how
I have a
to
question.
screw these things up.
Did the grenade guy from outside have more grenades?
They
Could we
both
just...
they both had grenades on them for a total of 3 grenades.
Could we just put grenades in the mainframe and destroy it that way?
A mainframe's down level. It's going to be another combat encounter.
Oh, okay.
Right now we're going to the radio station, right?
Oh, sorry.
Right now
Yes,
And then
you're-
we're going to
you're-
go down.
confusing the 2 objectives.
And you can pop some grenades on it. You can have a flashback to when Captain Hawk gave you some C4. What's your play?
I have an axe.
You can take an axe to it.
I think we just want to take an axe to it. It sounds like.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna hand the axe to Mr. Smiley because Mr. Smiley knows the most about computers. So I feel like he's the best qualified for destroying computers.
What if it's like a teamwork thing where it's like, Skyfire is watching the door, and then you 2 are like figuring out where to hit it, and then Mama's just destroying the thing. Like,
Mr. Smiley's pointing the spot. Mama's just
this looks important. Crunch.
Oh,
Teamwork, everyone!
okay.
I also like the idea of teamwork for this game.
Yeah, no. I like it.
It's a very teamwork-oriented game.
It is.
Mr. Smiley, do I hit that part?
Yes. Actually, just hit all of the parts.
One of the things I like about the game is that also for dramatic successes, you're encouraged to narrate how your buddies help out.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really great. Anyway, so you're able to crunch the thing down. We're gonna do a flashback, or not a flashback. We're gonna do a jump cut quickly to those same 4 people hung up in a high building with your signal repeaters. Like, no, we can't let him get this one. Come on, boost it or something. And Resistance Tech says, yeah, I got it. And you have bought some time in the Signal Wars. Signal still up.
Yes, good. Signal Wars.
So I suppose this is where we go down into the...
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it is. Which means I get to throw stuff at you.
Go for it. Come at me, nerd.
So our
Okay.
exposure is still staying at the same point?
Yeah.
No, your exposure clears because you're starting a new scene.
Cool.
You're starting
Okay,
a new
so,
things unprocessing?
No, it's basically as if just like we're wiping the signal, new encounter, new stuff, but you still are in combat mode and the signal's still up.
And we
Processing.
Our exposure drops because these new people haven't aimed or targeted us at all.
But we keep
Right.
the same subroutines?
It sounds like yes, we keep our subroutines because we're still in combat mode.
Cool.
Okay,
Alright.
so here's the sticky bit. You get down there, and you're able to find the basement level of this place, which is weird because not a lot of buildings in LA have basements. But
It's magic.
But you get in there. Well, it's suspicious, is what it is. You get in there, and they are assembling a mainframe, and you find there's a bunch of people putting stuff together, and there's 4 black-suited Freedom Fist thugs.
Are the black suits special?
You haven't seen them before.
So that's a yes.
They have
geez.
bright red patches on their shoulder.
What do the patches look like?
You can't make them out from this distance. And 3 of them have state-of-the-art M16s, and one of them has a really weird device with a backpack that you have not seen before.
Oh, jeez.
And
jeez.
And one second, I just need to mark some stuff on my sheet. C. And you hear, "Hey, there they are!" And because this is the top of the round, do y'all mind if I just throw some exposure at you?
No. I mean, I mind, but I don't think I get. You're the DM. Like, I don't think I get a say.
Yeah.
Hit us. They got initiative this time. They get the first round, and then we will break them.
Okay, yeah, sure.
You should have said that with a Russian accent.
Okay, so okay, one thug is gonna. So all of you just take 3 exposure just to start with.
Okay.
And let's see, 2, 3, roll 1d3. Oh, Big Mama! This guy with the weird backpack runs into cover, pulls this thing out, and you hear whoosh, and you smell ozone in the air as the chemical laser shoots you. Take 2 exposure, and you don't have the signal.
I don't have the signal?
Not this turn.
No! I need that!
So you get hit with this thing, and it is like you have been hit with a truck before you heard the signal. And all of a sudden, that buzzing at the base of your skull, that weird, almost musical thumping in your head, stops.
Y'all, I think I know who we need to go after.
Yeah, important question. Is that the only thug with the backpack laser?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I missed if that was common equipment for them or just the only one.
No, it is not.
If you both want to storm that guy, I can clear up the effects afterwards.
That might be nice if you clear that up.
Yeah, I will definitely clear things up for you.
I'm going to use fast. I'm probably going to use fast forward on my thing, which adds a number of successes equaling your judgment score.
Judge.
Yeah. Do you mind if I go first then?
Yeah. No, I don't mind.
I'm gonna be like, all right, y'all. It feels like maybe this is our priority target, and she's gonna heft her axe and she's gonna charge at the guy with the big backpack laser.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roll it.
So.
No successes.
Can this count at what?
You got a botch.
Can this count as fearless?
I mean, you did just lose your receiver power, and yet you're still charging in.
That's true. So that's 1 success.
So and then also my fire axe is a peripheral for storm, so I can ignore that botch.
Okay, it's 2 successes.
Yeah. So he takes 7 exposure, and I take 5. So I'm at 10 exposure right now.
Okay. Smiley, do you want to go next, or should I?
Yeah, I'll go next. Do I know it's before or after that I'm using a sub?
Your separate routine is your action.
Before?
Yeah,
I think it's before, because you say, hey, I'm using this on this op.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'm using this on this op just in case. I know I could have probably rolled it. Oh, I'm using fast forward on this, which is add a number of successes equal. I don't know what you mean.
You have to say like which like type of combat roll you're using it on.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm using this on flank. Flank.
Cool. So you still roll for flank, and then you just add your judgment.
Cool. It's still probably a good thing, actually, considering the fact that I have that 1/1. So I still am just like, yep, I speed up. I use fast forward, which let me double check what that does.
So you get to add your judgment score, so you get 2 successes plus judgment.
Yeah.
What's your judgment?
Yeah. So my judgment is 5.
Okay, so yeah.
7 successes.
Okay.
Yes.
So how do you do this? Tell me how it goes down.
So basically, what that does, it allows me to fast forward reality somehow. I
Just
basically
move
kind
super
of see what
fast.
happens. No, actually, I just see what is going to happen in reality and counter all of his hootenanny.
Oh God.
So tell me how your fast forward lets you, like, tell me what it does to help you.
Basically, I think it mostly just
Like, are you matrix dodging the bullets? Like what's happening here?
I'm dodging things before they happen and parrying any possible whacks with. If I get close enough, probably parrying any whacks that he had tried to hit me with the sword before you can actually go near me. So, not sword. I don't know why I said sword.
Knife. It's just a small sword.
I'm parrying him with my knife and basically just trying to get him down so that I can get the back to the backpack and get that to stop being a thing.
Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne.
Yeah, basically, I basically predict reality for a moment.
Yep. That's really fucking cool. Okay.
Yes.
I love it.
That's
Yeah. So 7 successes, I guess. He is.
Yeah.
on
You
the
kill
person
him.
who already has
You
7
kill him.
exposure.
You kill him.
I probably didn't need to at the same time. I was just like, let's make sure this happens.
Super dead.
He's
Okay.
so
Super.
dead.
So I take it you do kill him?
Yeah, and destroy the backpack, probably.
Okay. So yeah, you kill him, and you probably like have this extra moment of like, because you're fast forward, you're able to just like deftly turn, see how he's gonna parry, and you slice the connection between the laser and the backpack.
Ooh.
And then
Nice.
you just carry that right through his gut.
Yeesh.
So year one say, DFL's down, just very calm, professional, and now whose turn is it? That's
I
sorry.
believe
their
it is my
turn. Oh no, yeah, you're right.
turn. The 3 have guns, yes?
Yes,
Just normal bullety guns.
normal bullety guns.
So Skyfire steps forward, raises her shield, and then throws her arms open. I mean, basically like almost T-posing, inviting them to shoot at her.
Uh-huh.
And there's a thrill of fire as she activates Crash Test Chassis and just tanks it.
Damn.
And I'm going to roll for suppress, even though it's more of a emotional kind of suppression.
Counts.
Your bullets are worthless.
Okay, so that's 2 botches, 3 successes.
1 botch because I have a peripheral for it.
Okay.
I think that she takes a burst of fire and then she raises Daddy's little girl and just rakes the automatic drum across the room.
Okay. So what does Crash Test Dummy do?
Crash Test Dummy adds a number of successes equal to my Valor, which is 5. So with 3 successes, 1 botch, and 5 bonus, that is, you 2 get to reduce your exposure by 7 each.
Thank you.
So
Nice.
Smiley, you're not exposed anymore. Big Mama, you're down to 3. Tell me what that looks like.
Me?
Both of you. Like, where did you start from being like this out in the open, and and Big Mama being almost ready to get killed.
As Skyfire like is taking all these hits and they like swivel to focus on Skyfire, because like Smiley has taken down the guy Big Mama was fighting, she's gonna like, while they're focused on Skyfire, Big Mama just kind of like hurtles over the dead body to the other side to kind of now be in like a flanking position.
I'm going to interrupt real fast. We are doing a raffle right now in chat.
Yeah.
Glorious Pie is helping us by raffling off a t-shirt with our stream logo for this stream. The little avatar up in the top right and Cyberpunk with supporting EFF on it. I think we have a image of it around somewhere, but I just want to mention that as it's starting.
Yeah, so everyone, join the raffle. Good luck, everyone.
Raffle it up.
And it looks like we will be having another one if we hit our $250 goal. There's our glorious leader, Midgardia/Hikaru, actually explaining what's going on.
Thank you so much, Garu.
And now back to your regularly scheduled fascist killing.
Yeah, I've just hurtled over the dead fascist into like a better defensive position.
Okay. And that's the turn, so we're going to roll on Signal Wars. Okay. So Signal's going down.
Signal's going down.
No, it's not.
Going
No, it's not. Signal Wars is still hovering around the center. You need to fail 3 times. I'm bouncing on the tracker right now, so we're still hovering around the center.
Okay.
But Signal Wars is tipping a little bit more to the regime. Again, back in this distant lab, like, hey, I think I got the frequency.
Oh, jeez.
So flash forward to the present, to this scene. And the one of the thugs is just gonna take some cover. Here, tink! And he pulls up, and you're pump as he fires the M203 on his rifle. And so Big Mama and Skyfire both take 2 exposure as the grenade goes off.
All right.
I'm curious as to why I never get the exposure.
You're just lucky.
Because you keep being in cover and you keep being like a less obvious threat. Although actually,
as opposed to angry woman with an axe.
And
come at me.
Yeah, just a man with a knife.
Actually, wait, no. He did see you do that crazy shit with the knife. So, actually, yeah, no. So it's actually going to be Smiley and Skyfire who take the exposure.
Oh, jeez.
So I don't take any.
No, you don't. You're still at 3. Skyfire's at 5, though.
How many do I have now? 2. I really need to keep better track of this because I'm a dink.
And if it's... Oh my god. I need you to tell me how much I have as well. Because I think I'm at 5, but I don't want to accidentally cheat my way out of having more.
You are at 5.
Okay, cool. I have been keeping track right. Alright, next round.
Do you guys mind if I go first?
By all means.
I have the signal back, right?
Yeah, the signal is back. You can feel the power coming back. What you gonna do with it?
Cool. Big Mama is gonna... The guy who's just, like, fired the grenade
Wait, sorry,
at her.
I forgot. There's actually 2 more attacks I need to do.
Oh,
sorry
God, no.
That. So 1 attack against Smiley, 1 attack against Big Mama.
Oh, God, no.
So both of you take 3 more exposure.
Ow.
Now I don't want to do this.
Yeah,
no, I can't do this. Yeah, I'm at 6 now.
Eesh. I'm at 5, okay.
Alright, then I'm just going to do a regroup tactic. I'm going to do a regroup tactic. I'm going to activate my bunker mesh again. I'm just going to kind of like...
No, just go for it. I will clear your exposure.
Alright, then I'm not going to do...
Go.
Then I'm going to activate Crash Test Chassis and become momentarily invulnerable to kinetic damage. I add my Valor +1 because I have the overclocked Valor blade. So I'm going to add 4 successes. And I activate Crash Test Chassis, and Big Mama just leaps into the air and just ragdolls, and then like is going to just try and come down on top of this guy.
Okay, Damn.
So that's... I'm using aggression. So that's 4d10
no shit.
plus 1d6. So that's 2 successes plus 4 from Crash Test Chassis. So She just like leaps into the air and then like ragdolls in midair and just like slams down on top of this guy, and that's a total of 6 successes. So he
Alright.
takes 11 exposure.
One second.
And I take 5 more exposure, so I am also at 11.
So I have until the end of the round to clear your exposure.
Mhm.
Smiley, did you want to do something first?
Yeah, I'm gonna probably do another flank and try to whack one of them with my knife. Why do I say whack them?
Oh,
I don't know. And why do I never use my gun?
Fury, do I take this guy out?
Yeah, you do. With that many successes, you take him out however you want.
I just want to, like... I think that with all of her, like, bone spurs out, she just, like, lands on him, and it just, like, crunches right into him, and he just, like, snaps under the weight of a android covered in spikes.
Nice.
Okay, damn. And you hear one of the other ones say, "Choose down!" As they keep shooting at you. But wow.
Right,
I love the signal.
it's a nice signal. It's a great signal.
I want you to know that I have this thug's exposure, like I have the X for their exposure marked off the edge of the arrow to symbolize 11 goddamn exposure.
Nice.
God.
All right, now I now try to stab another person, or at least get near enough to make me a concern again. So roll that, and then I'm going to roll another d10 because that was a shit tier roll.
Okay, so that's 2
That
successes.
failed. Oh well.
2
successes, yeah.
So it's still a clear success. It's just.
And I'm mostly grumpy because of the fact I've been trying to build up the freaking glitch rate thing.
If
I really
you have
want
a library or a peripheral, either one of those would get you the extra success you need.
I mean, I guess I have the memory. No, I have the flank. Oh, I'm a dinkus. I'm gonna use flank and remove that one.
So
I
yeah.
have not flank. I have the freaking mask. I have the happy face mask.
Okay, tell me what you do and tell me how the mask helps.
I think it's once again a thing of like the mask makes them kind of a little freaked out by the sudden just hello. You have a smiley face next to you. It's not, I guess they're just getting closer, and I still don't know. Like I should have probably better defined like how the mask actually helps me.
I mean,
But
like
because-
you can change how it does for each narration. It can be even things like it gives you some more confidence, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the reason my character has the mask. Yeah, it gives me the confidence to actually go in and actually stab someone, because I am usually an overly cautious person, as someone can tell by the fact that I constantly just using sneaky tactics.
All right, so that's 3 exposure on this guy.
Yes, so now I can, next turn, I probably can use Glitch Wraith, and
All right.
it's not a good point to use Glitch Wraith, I guess, but I'll just see.
Okay, I'm going to, because they're all still shooting at, it sounds like they're shooting a bunch at Big Mama, because she is super exposed.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do the thing where I cosmetically use a subroutine, even though it doesn't have a mechanical effect, just because it synergizes and it sounds super cool.
I'm about it.
I am also going to mechanically use my second activation of Crash Test Chassis, and isn't that a tongue twister, while I suppress again.
Okay.
Okay, so that's a terrible roll.
That's a 0.
Except I'm about to use a peripheral and a library.
Okay.
And a subroutine.
And a subroutine, yeah. I have a lot of issues here. So.
Okay, your narration needs to explain how your peripheral helps, how your subroutine works, and how you use I presume, the environment?
Yes.
Okay.
I was actually going to use the body of one of the soldiers.
Okay, I'll accept that. I'll allow it.
It's an object, right? That makes it part of the environment.
I'll allow it.
So Skyfire reaches down with one hand and grabs the chem laser thug by his backpack and throws him out in front of her to catch some of the bullets headed for Big Mama. Then after, the thundering crash that is a person being thrown across the room in body armor, she steps forward, wading into the gunfire and unloading the rest of the drum of Daddy's Little Girl, pulling the tension to herself, and just kind of waltzing into the gunplay because what are they gonna do? They can't hurt her. She is above their petty weaponry. So that is 3 successes, 1 botch, plus 5 for crash test is 7 more exposure cleared off of my 2 allies.
I was going to say that I forgot that my tracer step reduces my exposure by 1 for every 2 successes rolled, but I keep forgetting about that.
Well, you're
When you flank.
all...
At this point, though, it doesn't matter since I've gotten, like, that would have been 8 points, and I don't think I had that many points.
Nope, you're both back at 0.
Nice.
I'm at 3. I'm at 4.
And not anymore, you're not.
No, I was just at 11.
Oh, that's right. You are right. So you are back at 4. Okay. My bad. Sorry. Okay. So, that's the turn? Okay.
Desperately hoping the signal still goes on.
Signal's still up?
Yes!
The signal wars are just, like, going wild here. Alright. Both of these guys are now taking the bait, and both of them fire a full burst at you. Skyfire takes 6 exposure.
Cool, I'm at 11. That's
Yep.
gonna suck.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, this is a good point for me to probably pop off Ghost Drake or whatever.
Okay, that's my turn. That's the fist's turn.
Alright, how long does the ultimate subroutine last? I forgot to ask.
It's 1 action, but it does incredible damage. So you, when you use it, you roll your 5d10, and for each success, you neutralize any single target or add 4 exposure to any armored target, like a tank.
Yeah, it probably would have been better if we actually had some more worry, but I'm pretty sure it'll be. I could just use this to just immediately destroy the machines.
Yeah,
So,
just go for it. Do the cool thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll 5d10.
We're at 30 minutes left on our block. You have an ultimate subroutine, and we already know which way this battle is looking.
Yeah. Do it. Do the cool moves.
Nice. I'm tempted to roll another d10, but that would be silly, so...
I mean, on the other hand, just go for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're near the end of it anyways.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 successes, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
and then I do damage against them because they're not armored targets, and I guess I go hog wild and start going, okay! And I don't say it like that, but I go hog wild and just wreck the rest of the machinery.
Oof.
Yeah, I phase through them.
I don't think there is much of a mainframe left.
What does it look like?
From what I see here, basically, all matter previously occupied by my spectral form is instantly displaced, regardless of whether that matter is hardened armor, tank armor, or human flesh. I just take a look, and then turn myself back into normal, and things are now borked.
So
you're a ghost, and then you're not, and then everyone else is a ghost.
This is some Looney Tunes shit, and I'm about it.
It's halfway between ethereal phasing and just you're a walking black hole. Destroy things.
There's a Mr. Smiley shaped hole in every single object in the room.
No, it literally. Okay.
So,
all right.
There's this Mr. Smiley shaped hole in the humans. That's not pleasant.
I think Big Mama looks up as just blood sprays everywhere, and she's like, "All right." Okay.
I forgot my umbrella.
Wipes some blood off of her face. Her dress is just ruined.
Okay, so how much exposure does that do? What's the actual math on that?
Neutralize a threat.
It doesn't have the math. It just says neutralize a threat.
If they are not armored, then they die.
And in this case, armored is not body armor; it is APC, tank,
No,
etc.
hard target. Okay, all right. So yeah, this guy just dies. Just dies. Okay. All right, Mr. Smiley. That was your turn.
Mr. Smiley is officially scary.
Well, yeah, like it doesn't say. Does it do only once, or does it do like against multiple things?
It just happens once, but every success destroys an additional thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
geez,
So-
and I had 4 successes.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I think that is the end of combat.
that is the end of combat. I'm going to take this brief moment to say, like, hey, everyone in the chat, there is a raffle going on, so just type !raffle, bang raffle in the chat. See if you can get one of our really cool shirts going on. You can see the icon of the little cyberpunk dude in the upper corner. You can get it's a shirt with that on it. I'm just trying to process the red mist here.
Sorry, I saw Bedhome's
Mentioned
reply.
that I'm pretty sure that because of Crash Test Chassis, it might not work this way, but I like to imagine it works as a kind of frictionless surface, and there's just sheets of red dripping off of each of us.
Yeah, the blood's just like falling off of us.
It just
like,
refuses to stick.
You know, I am just drenched in blood. Oh, I probably
no, you
was-
disintegrated the blood.
You phase through it. We are all perfectly clean, just standing in an inch of blood.
Except for our clothes. Our clothes are completely blood spattered.
Oh yeah, probably, but like bullet holes and stuff anyways. We needed new ones.
All right.
Well,
then.
I have had my moment of extreme awesomeness.
Okay. So I guess that takes us out of combat.
I guess.
So the signal's down now. Because your scene's over.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you
But
guys.
also we destroyed it.
Okay.
The
so,
mainframe.
yeah. So you guys have, I'm gonna say, between 1 and 4 minutes before
Get the hell out of Dodge.
before all hell breaks loose. So how are you going to spend that time?
Can I flash back to us setting up an extraction plan?
Yes, you can. What's your plan? Okay.
So I think that
who's it with? I can play any NPCs you want.
Skyfire has worked with the Resistance extensively, especially the movers.
Okay.
What she had set up was a disposable asset from a company had misplaced a private helicopter normally used for VIPs. We knew we were going to a large building that had a large flat area for the radio tower. As soon as we brought it down, we landed a helicopter, hopped in, and we were gone.
Can I add on to that?
Oh, of course.
In order to make sure that like we have an eye on the reinforcements, Big Mama's going to extend her gravity spurs again and spider climb up the outside of the building to get to the roof so that she can keep an eye on like Freedom Fists that are approaching kind of with a height advantage above them.
Hell yes.
Okay. So my last question is: do you guys do any investigating?
I would say we should investigate the mainframe, but I don't think there's enough left to investigate.
I yoink all of the floppy disks that are in my general vicinity.
And,
Just all the floppy disks are mine.
and some magnetic tape, presumably. Don't forget about that.
Yes.
Probably also like VCR tapes or something.
I probably
Cassettes.
modified my computer to like run some things, and if not, I can probably plug something in.
Don't you also have that power that lets you
Tarball.
Yes.
the thing that,
You
yeah.
can turn the chunks of the mainframe into floppy
The
disks.
chunks of the mainframe that are still there. I just have a fucking pile of floppy disks in my hand.
I think Big Mama hands you her purse and like so you could just fill. She like takes up the gun and like unloads it and then like hands you the purse so that you could just fill it with floppy disks.
I have a briefcase. How many floppy disks can you fit in a briefcase?
Probably a lot.
I think we're pulling a lot of data out of this place.
Okay.
Is our point here.
Okay, I love it. I absolutely love it.
Because we know it's going to take like a minute, maybe 2 minutes for the helicopter to get there, and we're going to need to leave as soon as it does. But that still leaves us like 60 seconds to shovel as much data, as many cassettes and floppy disks and stuff as we can into our respective holding.
Okay, so the way this is going to work is you guys are going to grab this and you're going to bolt out of this building. You can't get like a helicopter there in public because the movers aren't going to risk assets and stuff like that. But you can get to one of the other buildings in DTLA and you can get out.
I can.
And with Gift of the Stranger, as soon as we're not at the scene, they have no reason to suspect us.
Pretty much. I mean, like, you still look like normal people, and like, if you look like Resistance people, if they see the trace of you like leaving a scene of Resistance combat, they're gonna like, hey, that's a mundane Resistance fighter, not hey, that's a robotic super soldier.
Yeah.
They're gonna ignore the fact I'm just covered in blood.
No one sees the blood. It's fine.
Yeah. I think they actually might see the blood. That's unclear.
I feel like I think they would see the blood, but it might. It's like, holy shit! How did they get hurt like that?
Yeah, I'm gonna put.
How many gallons of blood do they have in their body?
I'm gonna put my long coat on over my dress so that I'm no longer just covered in blood.
We became anime. We were anime victims of an anime.
Phone ringing here. Okay. Right on. Okay, that's excellent. I love it.
And then we hop on on a helicopter, and escape.
Okay. So I think we got enough time to do one piece of chatter and then a debrief.
Okay.
Awesome.
So do you want to know what happened there before chatter, or do you want to chatter first?
I think I want to know what happened first.
Yeah, I want to know what happens.
Okay, so you guys are able to get this to the Resistance, and what it comes down to was this was all about the signal. This is, of course, all about the signal. And that mainframe, they were actually going to start trying to build a program that would not only be able to predict signal keys, but would be able to build counter keys.
Ooh, that's bad.
Yeah, they would basically be able to, like, when it was run on the same channel as the signal, would kill the signal. And
Ooh, I don't like that.
Yeah.
These fascists kill signals.
We must kill the fascists.
Stop.
All right.
I mean, it's fair game. You said a bunch of axe puns.
To be fair, I said one axe pun a bunch of times.
Yes, exactly. It's you didn't even do it creatively. You just did the same one.
The other thing, though, is, so I'm just going to give you a little brief moment with Resistance Command. And what's happening here is you protected the signal, and at risk of being cheesy, the signal isn't just the radio that gives you powers. The signal is every single voice of doubt. The signal is there is still a resistance out here, and it is still fighting. And you just, in public, bloody the Freedom Fist's nose. You just went on the show, and you knocked down a Fist radio station and whatever they're doing, and what hellish thing has happened? Oh my god. So,
Nice try, Mr. Smiley. Why are you moving it?
But you struck a blow for the freaking resistance here, and not just in protecting your ability to keep on doing this and protecting the hope of resisting, but you also protect the ability of resistance to keep spreading its message, and that's really what the big win was.
Yeah, I have like an important question. If this algorithm was going to be possible to build counter keys, is that a way to will it help us be able to build signal seeds faster? Like, is that a meaningful victory for us? Like, we can actually extrapolate the signal better than we could before, with thanks to this counter key thing.
With enough time, with enough science.
But it's a lead, like.
It's a lead. It's something that can help.
I'd resist my eternal desire to yell science at the top of my lungs.
Never resist that desire.
Well, I figured it would be appreciated. The people watching the stream would appreciate. Oh, fine,
Yeah,
science.
that's fair.
All right, I'll allow it. So, one last bit of chatter for old time's sake.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the worst part about this whole thing is, I just heard on the radio. Do you think it's true?
Ooh, those are both good.
I like the latter one, I think.
All right, run with it.
Sorry, for what context of just heard on the radio? Like,
You
stuff that we did, or?
That's
Anything.
Anything. I just start sentence with I just heard whatever on the radio.
I just heard on the radio that well, I mean that this was apparently a pretty important spot for regime activity. I mean, it looks like they're pretty embarrassed by what happened. They're trying to organize a whole new what's it called, like parade of respect for the regime, and obviously they're pretty embarrassed by this, y'all.
We did good today. I almost can't believe how well it went.
Yeah, this was a show, especially Mr. Smiley, when you did that whole like zoo thing and like exploded all the things that you touched. I mean, that ultimate subroutine was real something to behold. I think we really did some good.
I was gonna have to ask, like, how are the subroutines like something that we obviously know about? Like, we know that this is something our body can do.
Oh yeah.
I think that we can actually load in new ones, like with blades.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we can just get new circuit boards.
You do physically upgrade yourself to have these. Like,
my question is, what happens if you just load in any other blade? Like, what if you just take a server rack from like MIT and you're just like, hey, I wonder what happens. Jack this in.
I mean,
hell yeah, give me Firefox in my brain.
Listen, y'all, I think we did some real good today.
I sure love Holmes things just like Mr. Smiley about to consume an entire fascist. Look, I can smile with my entire body. Zorp.
Can I run Doom on me?
Y'all, I just heard on the radio about this new game called Doom that's coming out, and apparently it can run on just about anything. Maybe we can run it on ourselves.
But can the receivers run Doom?
I guess we'll have to find out next. I guess we'll have to find out next time we play Sigmata.
I love we originally having like a serious conversation, and then there's just red to like Doom memes.
I feel like that's like a nice conversation.
Do they run Skyrim?
I think that's a good conversation to have, like as like the helicopter fades out into the sunset, like just talking about like what types of blades our bodies can run.
Can we run video games on ourselves?
I haven't tried yet. Do you think I could run I don't know, like a toaster?
I mean, I suppose you could be a toaster.
Easier.
Yeah, like could I put a toaster in my chest and just shoot the toast out?
I love how you're just having this.
That's a new weapon.
I'd love to imagine that at some point we're either just so tired or something that we just have this really, really dumb conversation.
It's just leaving into the distance.
No, this is a good fade out. So that was Sigmata, everyone.
I wonder if I can turn myself into a waffle iron.
That was Sigmata, everyone.
Thank you for coming, guys.
No, seriously, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Chad, for making this system. This is a really, really fun system. I hope that did it
with
justice.
a really good message.
And
With
there's
a-
so much stuff that we didn't get to from this system.
Yeah, no, there's so,
Yeah, this was an abbreviated look.
this is a really abbreviated look, and I really want to run this again soon, I hope.
And if you want to purchase Sigmata, if you want to get your hands on your own copy, it's on Drive-Thru RPG.
Yeah,
Highly recommend.
absolutely. And
I post a link in the chat, but you can't.
yeah. So next up is going to be Cyber Generation in about an hour.
Yep.
Thank you, Garm, for
I'll be
running
there
that.
too.
And again, thanks everyone so much for watching, for donating, for all of this. This was really, really, really amazing.